Star Report. I'm your host, Star, and it is Thursday, early evening. You see the title, Wallo 267 gets dragged for telling the truth about black-owned businesses, to be precise, okay? I've got a lot to put on the table as far as information, videos, as we comb through this particular topic. I'm going to try to be objective, but keep in mind, I am the founder of Fighting the War on Mammies. Oh, yes, I know who you are, and I deal with you every day. Well, not every day, maybe every other day, okay? So I'm going to try to be objective, but I might be biased on this particular topic. Wallo 267, never met him, but Gilly is my homie. We go back decades, so I support Gilly to the fullest. And I saw a video with Gilly co-signing what Wallo has been saying. So, hey, I'm sure there's some merit to what he is saying and what he has said. Some type of motivational podcast. And there was a panel going back. Let me get the date here. April the 13th, 2025. Okay. Wallace Peoples. That's Wallo's government name. Wallace Peoples. This guy served 20 years in the penitentiary. He's a better man than me. As you've heard me say, I was never scared to go to jail. I just didn't have time. I would have told on you, her, him, everybody. A fucking 12-year-old I would have blamed something on to avoid the penitentiary. But this guy, again, he did 20 years. So he has the right to speak his mind. Some of you are trying to, find out if he's FBA or if he's a tether. Well, based upon my research and knowledge, Wallo is a North Philly nigga. And Philly, in case you don't know, is one of the most culturally proud places on the planet. So no matter where your family is from or your lineage, you assimilate to black culture, okay? And again, I'm not saying he's not born and raised, but some of you are trying to bring up that point as if that has merit, okay? So he shitted on black-owned businesses. I'm going to play the clip. I'm not sure if he has addressed the dust that's being kicked up as of late, but he said what he said, and I hope he's standing on it, okay? All right, also, guys, do you see the showrunner? Oh, my goodness. I listened to that audio maybe 2 or 3 times, and it was so sweet, I damn near got a cavity. Joe Bud, my nigga, and Rocky Thunder, who I know as well. But both of these people, I like them. We have a history, you know. But they reunited. This was beautiful. It was needed. I'm going to try to be neutral on this, but I have to ask you guys, and Joe, I mean no disrespect. I have to ask, Troll Babies, good afternoon. Did Joe ever apologize for putting hands on Rocky? Did he apologize? This was during the whole Love and Hip Hop. I think it was season 3 or something like that. I mean, I watched some of it, but I'm not really, fully in the loop. Did Joe ever apologize? As a heterosexual man, sometimes we lose ourselves. We get caught up in shit. And Joe has admitted to being on Molly and other things. Did he apologize, I lost my mind years ago, and I had a misunderstanding with a black woman. She's 5'11". I'm 5'7", as you may or may not know. And I had to defend myself according to my version of the story, and give her a grounded pound, and she's giving me jabs. It was over the last line of coke. I'm not even gonna lie to you. 6:30 in the morning, I'm trying to go to work, and I'm looking for my shit. And I said, hey, what the fuck? And anyway, so did Joe ever apologize? That's all I need to know. Joe, I fuck with you the long way. Pause. But, I have to know that, man, because you can say what you want to say about Rocky Thunder. She's not a liar. She's not a liar. And I found an old video interview with Rocky on Vlad TV. It's like 12 years ago, and it doesn't have a lot of traction, but I may play parts of that. Vlad is my homie, so I'm not worried about a copyright strike, but her body language Says it all. She's not lying. She's telling the story, and Joe put hands on her. Yes, no, can someone confirm whether Joe ever apologized? Okay. I'm not going to bother either one of them to call in. I don't do all of that, man. But they can if they want to, if they're watching. If not, we'll keep it pushing, right? All right, guys. Also, this afternoon, oh, man, thank you to whoever sent me a video that I'm going to play. I have a lawyer, and she gave a breakdown with regards to Texas law and a lot of other things. And the question she's asking this lawyer is, can Hunter Metcalf be charged with felony murder? Not Austin, who's dead, but the brother who's alive. Hunter Metcalf. Give me some time. I reached out, emailed her to see if I could play her video. She has not responded yet. I'm not a lawyer, you know that, but I have a lot of history with regards to legal matters. I've never been found liable, never had to pay anybody anything. So with my experience, I look at things from different obscure views. And, you know, we've had the discussions before about Florida, stand your ground and other things. And she brought up some great penal codes and some things that I may want to talk about and play that video shortly as we get going. All right. Okay, guys, I see someone in the queue. Sit tight, area code 646. You will be my first caller. What do you say we get right to the video of Wallace Peoples, a.k.a. Wallo 267. Now, he's got a book out. I have not read his book, but I went to his website. Oh, this nigga's lit. This nigga's popping like Jiffy Pop on a Friday night. He's popping. Is he the #1 guy right now? I have no problem with that. Is he popping like that? That's what he said in the video. He said, I'm the number one guy. I said, okay. Now, I thought that was Kai Cenat, but I could be wrong. Kai Cenat or I Show Speed. Oh, my God. These niggas are lit. Okay. Hang on a second. Let's get to the video. Let me start it from the beginning. A lot of these videos I do edit out after my show so that I don't have to deal with copyright matters, okay? Let's get right to this. This is Wallo 267, talking a little greasy, according to some people. Here we go.
Us? Oh, I'm black. No black people. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Kill that shit. Now. Either you got a good business or you don't. All that shit, don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material of your shit good? Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people? No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah. Well, fuck about what color you is. I'm gonna spend my money. That paper, I'm gonna spend them deals where the fuck I want to spend it at. Rather it's Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do while I'm here. But I'm going to tell you one thing, I ain't going to be finessed off some black shit. But one thing about it, 70% of you motherfuckers is not going to make it. I'm not no motherfucking fake-ass motivational speaker that talk this dumb shit. I'm the #1 nigga in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I make millions, and I make millionaires, baby. You understand me? I come from the ghetto.
Let me stop the video right there and let me say, inshallah. If you're from the Philly area, you know what that's about. So again, I'm going to try to be objective. Some people are kicking up dust. As I said, they're concerned. Oh, he was being divisive. If anybody can critique black-owned businesses, it's people from Philly. Anybody want to tap in from Philly? Phone lines open right now. Miss Magic, I got you a donation. Thank you, darling. She says Wallo was telling the truth, though. Okay. Good to see you, darling. Good to see you. Is Wallo FBA? Anybody want to chime in and kick his back? And phone lines are open. Was he talking crazy? Does he have a history of understanding culinary, preparation and restaurants and so on and so forth? Is he just talking to be talking? Well, if you ask me, before I get to the phone lines, just sit tight. If you ever want to experience really poor customer service in terms of black restaurants, plural, go to the Atlanta metro area. It's not just the attitude, it's the service. You know, somebody's bringing a fucking platter of food that you're going to pay maybe $25, $30 for. And they've got those nasty acrylic nails and the fucking horsehair. And if you dare ask for more tartar sauce or more ice, oh my God, they roll their eyes. And there you go. What's that restaurant? I went there and almost had to shoot the goddamn what's that bitch ass nigga? The valet. Almost had to shoot the bitch ass valet nigga. Capitol Grill. If you go to that there's a couple of them, but there's one in particular I'm not going to say where. If you go there, expect some type of fucking tension. Poor service, overpriced food. And there's a guy who does, I'm forgetting his name. Oh my God, he does food reviews. Guys, what's the guy who does food reviews? He goes around and he went to some restaurants in Atlanta and he gave all of them a really nasty reviews. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. David D. Cordova, today's Religious Talk. I got your information on the screen. Yeah, Keith Lee. Keith Lee destroyed black restaurants in the Atlanta metro area. He's right. Let me start out with area code 646. Hey there, good evening. Thank you for tapping in. Please watch the language. Are you there? Area code 646.
What's up, Star?
Hey, man.
How you doing, bro?
I'm alive, sir. How are you? It's cracking.
I'm all right. But for him to dog black restaurants, I don't know. Maybe he might have smoked on something Joe Button smoked on when he ran into the door naked. But
Sir, listen, I appreciate you calling with the bullshit early, but can we try and get on track here? You know, I mean, this is a very serious thing. Wallo 267. He did time in a penitentiary, sir. You know, and he's
serious stuff because you can go in Chinese restaurants and smell something. They storing stuff back there, but people still go. So for you to dog the black restaurants, you got to be spotless. You know what I'm saying, bro? Most of the time. Because people won't even go there. But you can go to these little Arab stores that be nasty, stinking in there. Mm-hmm. The cat on the counter. Mm. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas eating fried rat with the pork fried rice and not giving a fuck is what you're saying.
Exactly. Shit stored in the back. They running out in the back, grabbing pigeons and bringing them in there. They giving hand jobs on the other side.
Easy. Okay,
well,
so you're not a fan. You're not a fan of Wallo's. Do you watch $1 million worth of game?
I love Gilly.
Okay.
Yeah, but for him to do that, there got to be some money involved. You know?
Well, I'm sure he got a check for this event that he was speaking at. I'm sure the nigga didn't just go there and talk for free. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure, but how you was just going to dog out everybody's restaurant that's black and saying it's a finesse? You know?
Well, listen, I appreciate you calling in, but at the same time, I mean, I'm fighting the war on mammies, and I talk about not just restaurants, but, you know, dealing with a certain culture when I'm calling, you know, customer service, whether it's the goddamn bank or plane reservations. There's an issue as far as I'm concerned. Yes, no?
You're right. You're 100% right. I agree with you on that, bro.
Okay. Can I ask how old are you, sir, and where you're calling from? Just give us a little background, please.
I'm 50.
Okay, you old nigga like me. Old nigga.
What city? I'm in Jersey.
Say again.
Jersey City. I'm from Joe Button's home.
Oh, well, sir. Hang on. No, technically, Joe Button was born in Queens. He's not really a Jersey nigga. He went to school in Jersey, but you know he's a New York nigga, right?
I don't know. That's probably why they was chasing him out of here. I don't know.
Okay. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Salute.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Okay. TB, hold on a second, sending a donation. Thank you so much. King Flex is on his neck. Wallo was chef up in the pen. Okay. Fleece Johnson was his prep cook. Please call in with the bullshit. Thank you for your donation. Guys, I'm going to allow you to go crazy in the live chat this afternoon, but please don't call me for protection, or if somebody's doxing you or getting at you, come on, handle your handle, all right? I'm not even sure if Deeds is around this afternoon, but I just had to say that because, the research shows we have to stay focused. Lame Dash, I got your donation. Lame Dash says, Wallo's, okay, we're not going to talk about his mom, sir. Okay, he knows the food industry, someone in his family. Okay. All right, thank you so much for your donation. Oh, is this what I think it is? Peace, left-handed. Is that you, sir? Tapping in early on Thursday. Left-handed.
Peace. What's the deal, man? What's going on with you, man?
What's the science? What's the science?
Yo, the science is aspiration, man. Everybody should have the aspiration, man, to do better, man. And when, you hear the truth, whether in a build or destroy fashion, you know what I mean? You got to do something about it. Wallo was absolutely dead 150% right. Wallo was talking to the people who, like, that science that goes a hit dog, a holler.
Right.
So to me, that's what this was about. Wallo wasn't up there to give no presentation and talking in the third person and using, INGs at the end of his sentences. Wallo was up there being Wallo.
Right.
And Wallo was speaking to the ones who can't get it right.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to go to the barbershop and have an 11 o'clock appointment since when that happened.
Right.
And I don't get in the chair till 12:15. I don't get out of there till 5 after 1. That's who he talking to. Right. He talking to the ones who service is garbage, the food is garbage, and then you expect to have your hands stuck out at the end of the day. Because everybody's not like that. The ones who rock the way they're supposed to be rocking, they didn't care about that. Now, how he presented it, how else was he supposed to present it? He was being Wallo. Anything else would have been less than civilized.
Yeah.
So
I spoke at Columbia University, I think it was 1995, about magazine publishing, because I was publishing my magazine at the time, Around the Way Connections.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, if you ask me, I gave a hell of a speech, but then they asked me after the speech to never come back. I went hard in the paint, but they said, nah, please don't ever come back here talking crazy.
It's a one-shot deal. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Come on.
But listen, man, I just feel like, I just got off the horn with Yada Bear.
Okay.
And again, she's from Philly, and she was like, yo, check this out. Anything else, like, from Wallo would be, some nonsense. So that's how he come across. You know what I mean? He's not coming across as some pristine cat with rounded corners and all of that. So, and again, he was talking to those who needed to get that message. That's all it was. So if you feel some kind of way, your joint is in a bunch, you know what I mean? Figure it out. And then as far as the Chinese restaurants is concerned, for that, how if they get down like that, I'm not going to that spot, but I'm going to a Chinese restaurant. Thank you.
Okay.
And forever, whoever else gives me nice customer service and the ambiance is nice and the spot is fly, I'm there again. Thank you.
Well, let me jump in here. Left hand. Let me jump in here.
Yes, sir.
I'm an older man. You are as well. I'm older than you. But now the younger generation, you can't be as forceful as our generations. How old is Wallo? Anybody know? He's an old nigga too. Nigga did 20 years in the goddamn penitentiary. Guys, is Wallo in his 50s? You were saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, but isn't that what they do? Isn't that all about the ratchetness and the turn up and this and that and the third? So again, they got the message the way they received the message. Okay. So again, why are people all of a sudden upset because of how the message was presented? And it was only the truth. That's it.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, you can hold the line up, man. I just wanted to get in on that.
I appreciate you, man. Anything going on with the New Jersey Giants? They play in Jersey, and quarterbacks. Everything okay before you go?
You know what I mean? Their quarterback room is full, man. They got Russell Wilson. They got Jameis Winston, right? And again, I'm hearing rumblings about they still want to, look at Shedeur Sanders. So their quarterback room is going to be crazy. Okay. They're in desperation mode, man. Okay. They know what they did, but we'll talk about that another time, man.
Keep your eye. Keep your eye on my nigga Cam Ward. That's my guy right there. That's my guy.
Listen, that's actually my dude from University of Miami. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And again, the best pure quarterback passer in the draft, I would say. You know what I mean? But listen, here's a name that I want you to pay attention to and listen to.
Okay.
He's a quarterback as well. Right. Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. Right. And I'm going to say that out of here down in Sports Talk Tuesday. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, my man.
Right. Hey, Patrice, I got your donation, darling. She says, Star, I love you for being honest about your past. Yeah, listen, I tell on myself. I fought a big bitch. She's 5'10", maybe 5'11". I swung on her. Listen, I got to go to work. Where's my little cricker picker-upper? Huh? Bow. Gave her a forearm smash, and I'm thinking she was just going to hold that and then, roll over and, curl up. The bitch jumped up in the bed like Wang Yu. Wang Yu, that's going back to the early 70s. Anybody? Wang Yu? Not Jackie Chan, not Bruce Lee. Wang Yu. I said, oh, shit. And it was on from there. But thank you for your donation, darling. Fila Speaks says, if Wallo told the prison stores how to run their businesses, he wouldn't have made it out of prison. Sambo. Ooh, that's a very, very good point. Okay. Yeah. Someone says Star got in a chokehold. No, sir, she was a big bitch. She put me in some type of what do you call that? A surplex or whatever those things are called? Some type of wrestling moves. Brawling with that bitch and made it out the door with my life. Area code 347. Good afternoon, please. Watch the language. Are you there? 347.
Hey, hi, Star. How you doing?
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. So yeah, regarding Wallo, I think it's more so, the right message, but the wrong messenger.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly agree with what he said, right?
Okay.
But in terms of who's saying it, because if you look at Wallo, the reason where he is where he's at right now is because of Black support, right? When he got out of jail, all the videos and stuff like that, it was Black people that made it cool for the racists to gravitate towards him, right? Because they kind of sympathize with his, plight, the fact that he went to prison, his brother was killed, he came out, he didn't want to retaliate, he was very vulnerable to the people, he was very positive, right? But it's not that there is something unique to him, because whatever he went through, I'm pretty sure there are other people in the area that had worse than him and are probably more motivational than him.
Okay.
But because he had Gilly, who put the spotlight with the Black support, he was able to plateau to where he's at right now.
Okay.
So I think he should have exercised a little bit of reservation when it comes to that topic, because he benefited from Black support. So he should afford the same thing to the next Black person. But in terms of the message, he's right, because America is a capitalistic country. It's like may the best product win, right? You can't just hide behind a color or behind an area to sell a product. Eventually, it's going to die out. Just like, for example, if you look at the yellow taxi industry, they were protected by the New York City Commission.
Okay.
When they, when the New York City decided that they no longer want to protect them, now most of them are out of business, and the medallion is severely devalued at this point.
Okay.
So yeah,
if I can jump in for a second, sir, and say, where are you from?
Go ahead.
I detect an accent. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm from Africa, born and raised, but came here when I was 19.
What part of the motherland? What part of the continent, sir?
Yeah, we spoke before. I'm from Senegal.
Senegal. Okay.
Yes.
How far is Senegal from Zimbabwe?
Very far. It's one side is west, the other one is south.
Okay. 10 hours more, half a day?
No, not 10 hours, probably 6 hours or less.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I've got a video I'm going to play a little bit later on. E-trikes, solar-powered three-wheelers that they're giving women in Zimbabwe. Have you heard about this? Not that you had to. I'm just, I keep up with a lot of news.
Yeah, I mean, usually there's always non-profit organizations that come out and hand out stuff, but there is usually corruption behind it. It's usually
Well, they're renting the e-trikes. It's not like they're giving them to them. And, so now you've got a bunch of African women now becoming independent, kicking up dust. I just want to, see if anybody had anything to say. Hey, man, I appreciate you calling in. Are you a Wallo and Gilly supporter? $1 million worth of game?
Well, initially I was, but when I started watching their content and I saw that, most of the things that they preach is antithetical to what they were demonstrating. For example, they would talk about violence and stuff, but they invite rappers who were talking about killing. They interview King Von, Lil Durk, and even what's the name of
I
this?
saw Wallo 267 crying with Lil Durk and the team. Man, I don't want you to go through what I went through, right?
But the funny thing about that is he never interviewed the other side, right? He never interviewed the GDs, right? He was only interviewing the BDs.
Yeah.
So he kind of was perpetuating the whole thing, right? Because they took a side. Gilly and Wallo took a side, right? Okay. So you can, be against gang violence, but you're in the middle of it by taking a side, because they were on Lil Durk's side. Oh. They never interviewed the other side. They never
Salute to Gilly when old ass Jay Prince came in there and tried to give Gilly some paperwork. Gilly just looked at it. He didn't touch it. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw some of that. Yeah. So you have to be neutral.
The hater misses nothing.
Like, please,
Fuck you, slide me paperwork for old nigga. Anyway, hey, man, great to hear from you. Salute. Stay in touch. Thank you.
You too, man. Take care. Bye.
All right. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Is this who I think it is tapping in early on a Thursday? Area code 206.
Hey, Star.
Hey, Sunday. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing great. I love your topic today.
Thank you.
Wanted to comment.
Please, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Wallo.
Okay.
I am. I like how he cuts straight to the point and he's not, sugarcoating anything. I think the speech that he gave was great. I think people got their money's worth. I'm sure they paid to see him speak. I don't think he talks for free. So
right.
I think they got their money's worth by getting the real truth. And he's a person of influence, but he's also someone who, is an example. It's not like he's broke telling people stuff that, is kind of theoretical. Like, he physically is a part of that space that they want to be in.
Right.
So who better than to give advice to people that would like to have his wealth status and, network, so to speak. Personally, I thought
I've never met him. And again, I'm trying to be objective, but I can't hate on him for speaking forceful to a quote unquote, a genre culture, if you will, that is proud to be ignorant now. And when we're talking customer service, I don't know if you've got a background in customer service. It's some of the worst in the goddamn country. I mean, I can go on and on and on about my personal experiences, associates and others. I don't know. It's just, I can't hate on him for being forceful. Just want to say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, my perspective is very biased as a tether, right? Okay. Well, I'll call myself a tether mainly because I've never really eaten at a black restaurant. Whoa. Maybe one time in my whole life. Maybe one time.
I thought you were part.
And
I thought you were part FBA. Now you're saying you're tether.
I am a 25%. 25%. That doesn't really count for much. So the reason why I call myself a tether is because my father raised me. My mother was never around, and he's from South America.
Okay.
So it doesn't really make sense to say FBA because of her. She was never around. My father raised me. Anyway, we grew up, we were eating Hispanic food. We weren't eating FBA food or soul food. We ate Puerto Rican and Dominican food. Okay. That's pretty much all we ate because it was fresh. It was real ingredients. There were colors on your plate. It wasn't deep fried stuff. So we would eat Puerto Rican and Dominican food in Brooklyn. That's what I grew up on. I did go to one restaurant in Harlem called Sylvia's, like 15 years ago.
I've been to
and
Sylvia,
that was such a culture shock.
Okay.
Huh?
That
was a major culture.
I've been to Sylvia's many times, but now, Hispanic food is very fattening, high in cholesterol, a lot of deep fried pork, onions, and stuff like that. So, I mean,
well, the stuff we ate was healthy. We would eat the roasted chicken, the white rice and beans.
Okay.
We never ate the fried stuff. Okay. Yeah, and a lot of stew chicken, tons and tons of stew. Even now, that's all I cook. I didn't go for the fried stuff, but I understand what you're saying. It could be rich. You just
if I can jump in. So now, are you against patronizing Black businesses or dealing with quote unquote Black people? I mean, I think that's more so what I'm trying to focus on here because people in today's day and time where people are in seek of good Yelp reviews and other things. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're not doing what needs to be done for the public, then, people can say, hey, don't go to this place. Don't go to that place. Do you choose not to go to Black-owned businesses?
It's not that I don't eat soul food. I don't like the food. I don't understand it. So
I'm talking about beyond just food places, whether it be anything to do with your hair, clothing. Do you purchase from Black-owned businesses online, soaps,
no, I don't.
Bath bombs? No,
I do not. The reason why I don't is because I don't purposely seek that out. I go for quality and accessibility.
Gotcha.
For the last 8 years, I have not lived in any Black environments. I'm not saying that it's not deliberate. I just haven't. Like I was in Alaska. There's no Black people there. I was in Washington. There's like a 5% Black population there. I haven't been around Black people.
Washington State, not to be confused with Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I was in Seattle. And there's it's a very heavily Asian, Caucasian area. Yeah. I haven't been around I don't think I've ever really lived in a Black community. I've always lived in Hispanic communities or white, Hispanic or white. Never lived in a Black community. But what I was saying about Sylvia's is when I sat down there, I was determined not to go back. I was like, I would never come back here. It was like
hang on. Now, since you put that on the table, and Florida Boy Jay, sit tight. So you're up next. I see you in the queue. Now, some people would accuse you of being a self-hater, not me, but just what would you say to that?
No, I don't understand because I eat ethnic food all the time, almost exclusively.
No. You said you were determined not to go back to Sylvia. So did you have a good experience? Did you have a good experience?
No, it was a horrible experience.
There you go. Okay.
Well, because they gave me their drinks were different flavors of Kool-Aid. That's weird. That's not a real drink. I don't understand why people drink Kool-Aid. That's nothing but chemicals and red dye. And they made it weird. They made it all these different colors trying to make it look gourmet. And I was like, this is the most.
Can you hold on, Sunday? I'm getting backed up on calls here. Florida Boy Jay, sit tight. You're in the queue. Sunday, I need you to wrap it up, land your plane. Okay, so you have no problem with what Wallo 267 said publicly, right?
No, I think he straightened those people out and they needed to hear the truth.
Okay.
I don't think chicken and waffles is real food, so I don't see myself going back. That's it.
I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Sunday.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
FBJ, you there, sir? Thank you for your patience. Florida Boy Jay.
Yes. FBJ, real nigga network, FBA in the building all day.
Yeah.
You know what we on. We did some research. Wallo might be, Somali and Ethiopian. I don't care where he comes from on the diaspora.
Okay.
He had the right to say everything he said. I love the way he said it. I love the aggressive tone, the way he said it. This Negro came out of prison and lapped you niggas outside in society 15 times over. I told you on the phone yesterday, me, Wallo, people on the street, and Michael Jackson got the same 24/7. What did you do with your time? What is Wallo doing with his time? Bottom line is, people paid to hear Wallo talk in that space and in that way. That conversation wasn't meant for people who aren't hustlers, who don't have businesses, and weren't meant to hear that. That conversation got out to the masses, and we should not be mad with Wallo saying this. I'm more frustrated that black people feel like he's the wrong messenger, or he can't say this, or he can't say that. Wallo is probably one of the most qualified people to say this.
Okay. Let me jump in and say, again, I don't know his full background, but, the Philadelphia area is culturally proud, not just with food, art, history, spoken word, music, many things. So people in Philly, Germantown, Norristown, and all the other surrounding areas, Mount Airy, they have a strong pride with regards to black culture, the black experience. You've been to Philadelphia before, Florida Boy Jay?
No, not yet. But I do got a handful of relatives up there, and I communicate with them all the time. Okay. I actually missed a funeral up there a year ago, but I
highly recommend going there at some point in time. Hey, also for those who don't know, back in somewhere around April the 7th, a couple of weeks ago, Wallo, according to Vibe and other platforms, he walked a man back off of a bridge, prevented someone from committing suicide. Now, that sounds like a very common story that they do from time to time. Didn't T.I. walk somebody back off of a bridge or a building, and then others? This is a PR stunt, if you ask me. I have to say that. Just want to point that out,
Yeah, for sure. And my main thing too is Wallo isn't one of these guys selling courses that you can't get up with. You can DM Wallo, he'll respond back. Wallo was running in the rain, catching pneumonia, screaming at you niggas in the morning to get up and get on your grind. When Wallo talked to those people, all he's saying is this, like he told them, most of y'all won't even make it. And if you are going to make it, you have that grit, you have to understand that you have to have a professional top-tier business. You're not going to get any slack because of the black business. You're not going to get any extra love running it off of black business, support black business, because like you said, some of them have been scams. The other ones have just as rude customers, just as entitled customers as they have rude staff, so it's a double negative. Wallo said right, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get your hands dirty, and get that business to the shape it needs to be to survive.
Okay, now hang on a second, Florida Boy Jay. A couple of people getting at you in the live chat. Are you worried about people calling you an FBA turncoat? Because you said you don't care where he's from. That's not being on code now.
Listen, as a full FBA, I feel like being on code is being objective and calling things, and I only call balls and strikes, pause. But I'm only calling what I see, and we do not all have to agree. And just because somebody isn't Black American, like I said, I don't care if Wallo came from Senegal or the Congo. What he said goes to any melanated person across the globe. I don't care how black people feel. We all want to get aggy. You all want advice. And when somebody gives you advice with a different tone, now you upset. Wallo did what he was supposed to do. And I feel like FBA and black people.
Can you stay with me? Take a breath. Hold on a second. Let me bring in area code 216. Hey there. Good afternoon. Good evening. We're having a discussion. Wallo 267 is getting dragged. Are you up to speed? Area code. 216.
Yeah. Good evening, big nigga. How you doing, man?
How are you? Where do you want to start?
I'm all right. I'm up to code on the Wallo thing, and I'm 100% with him.
Sir, can you make the adjustments? Your sound is going in and out. Make the adjustments, please.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little better, but go ahead. You were saying?
I'm 100% with him. I'm with him on the message. I'm with him with how he relayed the message. I'm with all of it because I run a business myself. I've been in business going on 11 years, and I'm big on customer service. Like, I don't play around. You can have the best restaurant or whatever kind of service you provide, and you can have the best of it. But if your attitude stinks, you're not getting a dime. You're not getting a dime from me. And it's mostly people like Florida Boy Jay, and I think Left Handed said it. That conversation ain't for you people who complaining, because we know what you about anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm like this when it comes to customer service. I tell, like, I got a landscaping company. I'm going on 11 years.
Oh, right.
And I got young.
I remember speaking to you. Now you hire a lot of migrants, though, right? You hire.
Oh, hell no. No, hell no. I got some. I get young boys from around my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I tell them, like, I get young niggas coming home from the joint or whatever, and they really don't want to mess with the streets. I say it's an easy startup and it's some good money.
Okay.
But what I tell them to do, I don't care how. If you're not that good, I say always your customer service got to be A1. Because when I first started in this business, I wasn't the best. Okay. But if your customer service is A1, the people will rock with you because they know eventually you're just going to get better because it's rinse and repeat.
Okay.
So I got hundreds of clients right now, commercial, residential. So I'm all about customer service. I'm a man of respect.
Okay.
So I'm 100% with him. Yeah.
Sir, before you go, can I ask you to comment on Joe Budden and Rocky Thunder reuniting? Did you hear the audio?
No, I heard just very little, man. Cause
it's beautiful, sir.
Yeah, posted it.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. I'm
gonna have to go check it out. But I seen 50 had posted something about it. Like, that nigga. You know how I go. But thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. Salute. Thank you so much. Everybody, have you heard the audio with Rocky Thunder and Joe Budden? Joe's my nigga, but I have to ask Florida Boy Jay, did Joe Budden ever apologize for putting hands on Rocky?
Absolutely not. Not as far as I know. Not any research I've done. Now, if I'm proven wrong, then I'll be gladly proven wrong. But by the research I know from a day one Budden supporter, I don't think so.
Okay. I want to really stay away from that topic as much as I can. A lot of genuine love and respect for Rocky. We're associates more so by way of business. I don't pillow talk with females. But her and Joe had a bond going back 20 some odd years. And if you ask me, that they had a bond that is deeper than sex. For those who know what I'm talking about, sometimes a male and a female can have a bond. Sex is just, something, an afterthought, if you will. And there's history there, but I don't want to, just take her side to take her side. But it's key that we know, did Joe apologize? I forget that episode on Love and Hip Hop. Anybody in the live chat, do you want to chime in? Call in. Hang on a second. Someone sends in a donation here. Star, how much to sit melted Sunday down for life? She's a bigger drag than the subway goes. All right, son. Sir, holler at me via email. Everybody can be sat down, sir, but you're gonna have to spend some Skrilla. I appreciate your donation. Sit tight, Florida Boy Jay. Let's go to area code 215. I think this is somebody tapping it from Philly. Are you there? Good afternoon, good evening, 215.
Hey, what's going on, Star? This King_Tony 215.
Hey, how are you, sir? What's cracking?
What's going on, man? I want to call about this Wallo topic.
Come on.
Yeah. As you say, you can't trust a Brooklyn guy with a part in his head. You can't trust a Philly guy that been in jail. You know what I mean? All his words to me, and he just talks that jailhouse talk, and he knows how to spit that stuff to people, and they fall for it. All that running in and I'm born and raised in Philly, North Philly. Whoa. And all that running in the rain, yeah, born and raised Badlands. Absolutely. So all that running in the rain, trying to give motivational speeches, that's just a hustle that he's doing. I can't knock him for it, but people fall for it. And the one thing I say that he can't talk about business because him and Gilly did his original partner, Devin Wade, dirty when it came down to the first beginnings of the show. And they've done it to Tony the Closer and a couple other people.
Sir, we don't know that to be true. Listen,
hang
on. I don't protect anybody, but I don't want, people taking shots if somebody else isn't on the line. Salute to Devin Wade.
You're right.
Salute to Devin Wade, and his podcast. I've acknowledged them before. But now, are you born and raised in North Philly?
Born and raised in North Philly, Badlands. Yep. I called before when we was talking about some guy calling from prison somewhere stuff. I've called multiple times, yes, but I'm born and raised in Philly.
Anywhere near the Richard Allen, or what used to be the Richard Allen houses?
That's 10th and Thompson. I'm a couple blocks up, but I know exactly where you're talking about.
All right. Salute to
They're
my
knocked down now. Now they're townhouses.
Well, that's what I
but
said.
actually, right
That's
now,
what I said, formerly known as. Salute to my nigga Tommy.
yeah, yeah.
Well, hang on a second. Salute to my nigga Tommy Butter. Now, you said, how did you say Wallo's talking that jail talk and never trust the Philly nigga? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you can't trust a Philly nigga that been in jail. He's talking.
Well, here's the thing. Hang on. I got time. You know, Philly is not known for snitching, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So if a Philly guy has done time in the penitentiary, more than likely he kept his mouth shut. Wallo did 20. I couldn't do 20,
right.
Sir. I couldn't do 20, sir. He did 20. Came out, got his groove on, business-wise. I respect that. But
no. I'm not saying that he never snitched. No, I'm saying that. Oh
no, I'm saying, sir. I'm saying without knowing anything about his case, there's very little chance he ever told. He did 20 years, sir.
Right.
Woo. If Philly niggas
that's a long time.
Too long for me. If Philly niggas get caught telling, most people find out. You know, look at my nigga Steady B, right? He told.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, what I'm saying is that I'm not saying that he rather his name. There's no stain on his name when it comes to his prison time. I'm talking about when it comes to talking about black businesses and everything. It's kind of like a contradiction to me, in my opinion, when it comes to it. And like I said, I can't hate his hustle, but for me, I just see past the motivation, or like you said, trying to talk somebody off the edge. I've seen that video too, and that did look staged. You know what I mean? It just happened to be one person happened to film it, not everybody else that was driving past them. So to me, it just seems like I'm just saying, like I said, I can't knock it.
Respect the jokes. Now hold on. I'm gonna let you land your plane. Not saying that you can't, but why would a nigga from North Philly call in to hate on another nigga from North Philly? You've got to give us a solid reason. I'm not saying you can't, but just tell us what is your motivation, please.
It's not. To me, I don't feel like I'm hating. I just feel as though I just see past the BS. I just see past the.
So you're hating.
TikTok.
You're hating.
I don't. If that's what you call it, I don't feel as though I'm hating. I just see past certain things. I don't hate on him getting money. I just don't think. From where I'm from, and you've been out here, you were on the radio, you got family in Shellingham and all that, and you know people from Brooklyn. It's just like you know what a Brooklyn person is, and I know what a Philly person, and I just see certain traits that I'm used to, but other people don't. So if it's called hating, I guess it's called hating, but I just see what it is. And to me, that he's this motivational speaker. It's just normal stuff that I've known, that I've heard of. And it just seems like he found a lane. That's all it is.
Okay.
That's it.
I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you.
All right, Star.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay. I let the man land his plane. Florida Boy Jay, back to you, sir. Joe Budden and Rocky Thunder have reunited. Anything that I missed? I don't want to do too much of a breakdown. I'm too old to do that, man. Right. But I heard some things that really just made me say, whoa, you know, and I'm not going to get into the intricate details. If you want to, that's fine. Or if anybody else wants to call it, Kuala, where is Kuala with the T? Kuala with the T. But let me just say that Rocky was holding her own, and Joe with the comebacks. It was fucking beautiful. Yes? No? Florida Boy Jay?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was classic. And to me, this was the best Joe Budden moment of this year, maybe the last 6 to 8 months. It was explosive. Seeing this argument, like you said, the bond they have, if you are a guy and you maybe have had a deep friendship with a woman where you guys know each other more than some of your exes do, some of your spouses do, some of your siblings do, because you have a lot of transparent conversations and experiences with them. But the downside to that is when it goes left, that person knows all of your business. So they were both mudslinging. I don't want to go into details, but the things they were saying about each other were extremely funny. But you can tell they were so close where you didn't hear anybody in their voice. You didn't hear them like get offended or have their feelings hurt. It sounds like they do.
Nobody denied anything.
Exactly. They were. And they go back 20, 30 years.
Oh
and, you know,
I don't think it was 30, but I know it's over
20.
It's over 20, but, you know.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And they frequent spaces a lot on X, / Twitter.
Okay.
They're in a lot of like Joe Budden TV spaces where, she may be hosting a stage. They'll call Joe on. They'll have some banter and vice versa. But it got extremely spicy the other night. There's a lot of resentment in their conversations. But at the end of the day, they both provided us with, this content was on a podcast level. It was beautiful. I enjoyed every minute of it.
I would love to see the two of them back on some type of television, if you will. I'm not sure if Joe is still contracted to Mona Scott. I love Mona Scott. I did a show with her, as I'm sure you may or may not know. But Joe and Tahiri are pretty much the creators of Love and Hip Hop. Do you know that, Florida Boy J? Do you know how far they went back? Joe Budden and Tahiri?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah,
how old were you then? How old were you when Joe Budden used to film shit, and then he was filming Tahiri, and he was trying to get to the bottom of how she got, not just how she got punched in the face when she was a bartender, but what did you do to cause yourself to get punched in the face? Remember that?
Yeah, I was about 15, 16 years old. This when YouTube first got popping. This was VH1's transitioning from the Flavor of Love content to Love and Hip Hop content. It was a pipeline of hip hop content. But I will say that Joe Budden and her, they would be great together on the pod. But even Joe said, you're not coming up off me. I'm not throwing you a life raft to get on nothing. They have a love-hate relationship.
She doesn't need one. But now hold on a second. Stay there, Florida Boy Jay. We got a lot of calls coming in. Let me bring in area code 313. Hey there, good afternoon. Thank you for your patience. Area code 313. Yes.
What's going on?
Yes, sir. How are you? It's cracking.
I'm doing. Can you hear me well?
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
All right. Let's start with Wallo.
Please.
Yeah, man. So I agree with everything Wallo said. And I think he went hard the right way. I think he went hard. I think he should have went a little further, to be honest. I think, I get real irritated and sick of black dudes, and I'm black.
Okay.
But I get sick of dudes complaining about nobody supporting them, nobody, nobody giving them something for nothing. Right. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of black guys out here getting to it, but a lot of dudes want to, oh, I'm black, so support me. Nah, it ain't about that, right? And forcing dudes to hone their craft, whatever it is, right? Whether it's a business, whether it's dudes rapping or whatever. I ain't gonna buy your mixtape just because you out here rapping, right? You gotta have some type of professionalism about yourself. And I think the sooner black people become more honest about that, I think the better off we'll be just, in the long run.
Can I ask your lineage, sir, or, ethnicity? You said black. Give us a little more detail. What is your culture?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm African American, right? So,
so where are your parents from? Where are your parents from?
Oh, they're from Michigan. They from Detroit.
And where are their parents from? And so on and so on. Give me the lineage,
Detroit.
Sir.
Yeah,
give me the lineage.
Yeah,
please.
I mean, like they're. I mean, when you're black and your people were slaves, like I don't know where they from, right? Like I don't know what country they're from. I haven't done the whole DNA thing, so. As far as I'm concerned, I'm Black American. Okay. That's it.
Well, let me just say this now in defense of foundational Black Americans, because half of me is foundational Black American by lineage. I don't have to answer to no goddamn body approve a fucking thing. You understand me? But now, sometimes you do have to find where you fit in, and others like yourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So I can understand people if they are, bothered by this. And I'm not sure if there's a huge backlash or whether we're just, all nibbling and kicking up dust here. There could be concern if he's saying something that tries to deter people from patronizing black businesses. See, I can speak for myself. Hang on. I can speak for myself and what it is that I go through. But there's nothing wrong with black people, promoting black-owned businesses. And if they want to share their culture, their economic growth and finances, I'm all for that. Just want to say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with that. And the thing is, I don't think he was saying don't support black businesses, right? I don't think he was.
No, that's what he was saying, sir. Sir. That's what he was saying, sir.
I disagree. Wholeheartedly disagree. What he was saying is, don't come to me saying, oh, support me because I'm black, right? Because that's how you get got. That's the tell, right? When a guy come up to you and he's trying to get you he's trying to pull on your heartstrings, right? I'm not gonna say no names, but there's a particular person out there that asks people to invest in a particular, vehicle.
Right, sir, I don't even want to waste time with that. We're talking about what Wallo said.
But my
hang on a second, sir. I'm going to respond. I'll let you land your plane. Wallo did say, right, I don't give a fuck. You better have a clean restaurant and be consistent. So he was kicking dirt in the direction of black-owned businesses. Go ahead, land your plane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with us holding people accountable.
Okay.
I think we need to. Okay. I think we have gotten to a point where we're just allowing people to do whatever for the sake of solidarity.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I think we got to get away from that.
I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No doubt, man. Thanks for taking me.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. What are your thoughts? Did he go too hard in the paint? Or is he a young Malcolm X, in the making? Malcolm X used to get at black people hard body. He learned from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger to the black man. I'm not expecting most of you, to know about his speeches, but the messenger to the black man could stand there and talk for 4 hours straight with sunglasses on, sipping water every 30 minutes, cutting you down like dry weeds. Malcolm came along, and so many people have it twisted about, yo, Malcolm, I've said this to you before, if you chewed a piece of gum, Malcolm X wouldn't fuck with you. Gum had pork in it. He was very, very cut and dry. Just had to say that. Runaway Slave, thank you. I got your donations. Runaway Slave said earlier, Star, you stop the cap, you're Puerto Rican. No, sir. I had a very dear uncle by marriage. He's gone now, but he was Puerto Rican, and I ran with the Puerto Ricans for 2 years. I'm on that A. Salute to the Latin Kings, man. Hang on a second, Florida boy Jay, and hopefully we can just have a conversation without any type of feuding. White boy Rory, I see you. Are you there? White boy Rory.
Star, what's good?
What's up, man? I need you to watch the language. It's kind of early. All right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think Wallo way out of line, man. I think these guys way out of line. How could he come back after doing 20-something years in the penitentiary and start talking about working class people? Was he saying that to the people in prison when they were giving him his slop and his oodles and noodles? Was he complaining about etiquette and how he was dined on and served on when he went to the chow hall? No, he wasn't talking about that. You know what I'm saying? This cat, I'm tired of all these prison dudes. All these prison dudes get up on social media and start telling other people how they should live their life and how they should, turn their life around. What the hell you talking about? Turn our life around? We never made the mistakes you did. Like we never did 25 years in prison. Was you out here working, Wallo? Were you, he's mostly getting at black women, right, in these establishments. Were you out here like they were working for 20 years? and working from job to job, not being appreciated?
Paying taxes.
Were you out here serving?
Paying taxes, productive members of society. Come on, white boy, let's go.
Productive members of society. Were you out here taking care of the babies that you left behind when you went to prison for 20 years? Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about the women that went out to work and had to work at 5 different restaurants until they found some place that they didn't hate and that they made a little bit of money at so that they could support themselves, their family, and the children you left behind? This cat is out of line, man. He's one of the luckiest guys in the world. He didn't come home and somebody was waiting to listen to what Wallo had to say. His cousin put him on. His cousin wasn't in jail for 20 years. His cousin was the one that built a brand for himself when he started rapping and then starting to getting his name out there, and then he pulled him in. And now you got this guy coming out here talking about, I don't appreciate or I don't like the way I'm treated at a restaurant. Well, you haven't dealt with what all of us have dealt with in the last 25 years, trying our best to make this thing work, working our tail off, to meet bills. We didn't have taxpayers paying for our food. We didn't have taxpayers paying for our bunk bed.
You had 20 years of 3 hots and a cot.
That's what I'm saying. We wasn't in there writing raps and banging on the wall, Wallo, for 20 years, and talking about irrelevant, nothing, stupid stuff. We were out here like, either taking care of our parents, taking care of our kids, whatever we were doing. What everybody could make a mistake when they're younger. I did it, you did it. I've been in jail. I never went to prison. I learned my lesson. Yeah. You do a couple of skin bids, you understand, like life is real. Right. This thing's getting real here. I'm not gonna throw it all away and that's a give up. When you go to prison, that's a give up. You gave up on life. You didn't have any confidence in yourself. You didn't think you could ever be shit. So you gave up on yourself.
I need you to watch the language. You're doing good. Just watch the language, please. Rory, continue.
Yeah, my bad. But you gave up on life. You gave up on your family. You gave up on your community. And now you come back here like you the Messiah? You the one we're supposed to listen to? Man, get out of here. This cat is out of line, dude. He's another one. He's gonna be another Floyd Mayweather with that mentality. He's gonna lose everything. He's gonna go bankrupt and lose everything. And he'll probably end up back in prison. I'm hating on Wallo. Don't ever come out of prison.
Stay there. Stay right there. Florida Boy Jay.
Hey, you a preacher. You a teacher.
Hang on. Can we have a conversation without you guys talking on top of each other? Florida Boy Jay, Rory has come in smoking. What say you, Florida Boy Jay?
Yeah, I can definitely see that point of view from somebody who, definitely got, 3 hots in the cot, like you said, got to sit down, get his thoughts together, get his bag, get his mind right, and then had the springboard of his cousin. That's a good point to make. But at the same time, he still came home and did it with a felony on his name. Yeah, you can say that nobody was trying to listen to Wallo, but Wallo made people want to listen to him. Wallo was in people's faces. Wallo threw himself in that algorithm. Wallo hustled. Nobody was giving Wallo podcast tours and putting him on when he first got on. He really grinded. When they said he came home, he had things written out. He had a lot of things organized and planned, written down before he even got his papers to walk out the prison. So at the end of the day, if he came home and he became not only a productive member of society, but a lucrative member who gives back to the community, is in the community, still accessible, and is now running whatever, if it's a boot camp, if it's a training session, or if he's just getting niggas' mind right to get their business in order, he's in every right to do so.
I disagree.
If I can just jump in here for a second, again, I don't know his full history. I got so much respect for Gilly, but at the same time, I don't watch the show like that. And the reason why I don't is because I don't want to, overly critique people who I have respect for. That's just me. I watch a lot of news, documentaries, history and stuff like that, science fiction. But I can understand the fascination with the prison lifestyle. I mean, that's very huge in the black experience. So I'm not going to discredit him for being in the penitentiary, but how much do you think that weighs in, Rory? In reality, I heard everything you said, but you're a Caucasian man. You're white. So what about black people?
I don't care about that.
Hang on. Do you think that black people gravitated towards his story of being locked up for 20 years? And that's how he has been able to.
No, I don't think decent black people did. There's a lot of white people that did 20 years in life and 25 years. A lot of our cousins are doing life too. White guys up in the penitentiary. A lot of us. I got cousins doing life. I got cousins doing 45 years. I know them. No, but they did something where they got to pay for what they did. You know, and there's a million YouTubers on this YouTube section. It's a whole section about dedicated to guys who were in prison, and they tell about their experiences. None of them are as big as Wallo. Wallo's not special. The only thing special about him is he had a cousin that was popping. Okay. There's nothing special about his message or what he did. He didn't come out here and get it out the mud and do it himself. No, if Gilly wasn't Wallo's cousin, Wallo would be a YouTuber with 5,000 subscribers talking about his penitentiary experiences. Okay. You know, but now he gets a little bit of money. He want to talk down on people. That has nothing to do with color. I really don't think it has anything to do with color. It has to do with the gall of this guy, like the cojones on this guy to come down and talk against working class people in one of the most stressful industries that you could work at. They're dealing with the public all day. And when people go to eat out, half of them are nasty. They want to be waited on like they're kings and queens. And that's the ground he wants to stand on. Those are the people he wants to down. Okay. Come on, man. He's a whole phony. This cat's a whole Nah, Wallo needs to check himself, man. He needs to check his blessings.
All right. Hold on a second, Rory. Floor Boy J, if you have nothing to respond to Rory.
I'm trying to...
Not that you have to. Hang on. Not that you have to. We'll let Rory land his plane. We've got a lot of calls coming in. Do we let him land his plane, or do you want to respond? You don't have to.
I just want to say something about his opinion. Well, then it's a lose-lose, because if Wallo would have came out here, did something else, got another felony, and went back to jail, or was a criminal, or came around here talking about he was checking in and on some Charleston White time, you would call him the same thing. So it's like, it's a damn you do, damn you don't. If he's being positive out here, and if he's you don't see Gilly doing podcasts and getting money seminars, you see Wallo doing it. So obviously he's the dotting of I's and crossing of T's.
That's about money
of the situation. So you gotta give Wallo the props. He is supposed to speak.
Okay, let Rory land his plane because he's outside. It's a little noisy. Rory, land your plane, please, and I thank you for keeping the.
Yeah,
language.
well, I like I said, I disagree once again. I disagree with that. You know, no. This guy didn't do any. You shouldn't be judgmental. Like if you the worst of the worst in the neighborhood, and you the worst of the worst of the community, and you come on, now you're judgmental on people who never did anything. This guy did that much time. You don't do that much time for robbing an old lady. This guy probably took somebody out. I don't know his case. You know, I don't know his life like that. But I know that you don't do 20 years or 25 years, especially in Philadelphia or New York City, unless, you know, you did something that was kind of unforgivable. You know, you were judged on that. He said he was guilty of it. You know, he admitted that. So, no, you don't come out here looking down on people and judging other people that you don't even know. You know, that's like you got a million skeletons. That guy got more skeletons in his closet than the rest of us. Okay. But yet he's out here browbeating and talking down on people. You know, you need to get your life right, okay. Wallo, man. Right. You'll always be looked on as somebody who, you know, did more harm than good to their community.
Right. I got to take other calls, Rory. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for tapping in.
All right, so.
Okay. Everybody hold on a second. That's white boy Rory. You see, when he gets focused like that, he's great. When he gets focused. Miss Magic, she says, Rory with the wheel kick. And same crook dot new. Look, thank you for your donation as well. All right, Florida Boy Jay, I'm gonna let you land your plane because I'm getting backed up on calls. I appreciate you helping me with this particular topic. Anything else we need to put on the table? Joe Budden and Rocky Thunder, or Wallo and his speech.
Just to lay my plane with Wallo. This is what I'm talking about. 1 minute we get mad when we see Marvin Sapp holding you niggas grandma's hostage, talking about close the doors. I'm running 40 grand out your pockets, but that's the black church. All your aunties and uncles up there fumbling their wallets, but they ain't say nothing. Why? Because you can't say nothing to black folks. You let them rob you blind because that's a black business. You can't say nothing. That's black excellence or whatever y'all want to hem-haw about. And y'all cried about that last week. But then you got a nigga like Wallo who put boots to the ground, who came out of prison and got it popping and trying to tell y'all how to get it popping and how to get y'all minds right. Y'all trying to get an Aggie too and taking this victim mindset of woe is me. I work a job. I work 2 jobs. We all working and hustling. Get outside and get the bag. That's what Wallo telling you.
Okay.
But you got mad last week when Marvin Sapp ran y'all ransom on the pulpit, but Wallo speaking against it, but you mad again. Which one you want? And I'll drop the mic on that, man. Let's go.
Marvin Sapp said, close the doors. Close the doors.
They ain't say nothing. Hey. You ain't say nothing when Marvin Sapp told you to close the doors, but you gonna get mad at Wallo telling you gotta get it popping and don't let niggas like Marvin Sapp run your pocket on camera.
Hey man, I appreciate the Florida Boy Jay. Salute.
All right, peace out.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Okay, everybody hold on. Hey Shani, I got your donation. Guys, if you want to call in, shoot me an email and say, Star, I'm on the line. I don't look at the live chat like that. You know this. The live chat is you guys, you monitor yourselves. And also, guys, www.dollpimp.com. That's one of my biggest sponsors. If you go in my community section, you can get a selection of life-size dolls. I'm as serious as colon cancer. Stop arguing with a bitch. Get a doll. You know, that's what we are in society. Elon Musk got himself an AI robot, and you can go in there and find yourself one as well. Okay. Where's my email address? Hold on a second. And I have to make sure I'm promoting Grand Finale. He drops new music tomorrow. Grand Finale. Okay. He might be calling in tomorrow at some point. If not, just go to my community section. All right. Okay. Hold on a second. And again, thank you, Shani. I'm responding to your donation. She says black biz lacks financial literacy. Okay, the solution. Okay. I can somewhat agree with that. Somewhat, you know. But for me, it's still the customer service. I've been having these issues all along over the decades. King Tony got your donation. Thank you so much. Hey, Vera. Vera, do you want to tell the story about you and I? Folks, I have had to defend myself against females over the years. I've never started it. I'm not that type of man, but I have had to defend myself. Hang on a second. Who's texting me? Hold on. Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a second. Good evening, good afternoon. I was hoping you wouldn't call me.
That's a first.
No, that's because I have so much genuine respect for you, and I appreciate you. But Rocky Thunder, how are you? What's cracking?
I'm well. How are you? Someone DM'd me and said you might have mentioned something about the whole new situation with Joe and I, but also I saw the tagline with Wallo, and I'm also connected to that story as I just wrote that book and became a New York Times bestseller.
I didn't know that. When you get time, send me a link. What is his book called? I saw the cover.
It's called Armed with Good Intentions, and I single-handedly wrote the fictional memoir myself.
Nice. Well, I can tell you, I've been kind of neutral with regards to the beautiful audio that I heard with you and Joe. It gave me a cavity. It was so goddamn sweet.
Very classy audio that it is.
And I'm trying to be neutral, but at the same time, my question to the audience was, did Joe ever apologize for putting hands on you?
Not necessarily, no. On the last episode of Love and Hip Hop, he kind of said, "Oh, I mishandled that situation," but he's never fully outright apologized for actually putting hands on me and leaving his fingerprints on my neck and things of that nature. However, I did forgive him.
Okay.
And we moved on. I forgave him because he was high as a kite on Molly at that time, and so I forgave him.
I went back and watched the interview that you did with Vlad. What was that, 10, 11 years ago?
It has to be more, because I'm thinking it's about 12 years since we actually recorded.
Right.
So about, yeah.
Yeah. And I said to people, I said, listen, if you go back and watch that interview with Rocky and look at her body language, she's not lying. She's not fidgety. She's not, doing things that would, be of concern to people who study body language. And again, I know both of you guys, so I don't want to pick and choose, but at the same time, I've known both of you with regards to your situation and how it started and manifested. So I hope that you guys can profit from this in some way, shape, or form. Any thoughts with regards to that, television or something?
I'm planning on stepping back out and doing a podcast of sorts.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always had a love for radio, but I've been, playing behind the scenes. I'm now, again, a New York Times bestseller, also a Emmy-nominated writer and producer for a great Netflix documentary. So, but yeah, I'm coming back. I miss it.
You've done a lot of things over the decades. You assisted me with the Star and Buckwild show back in the Hot 97 days. So I know your pedigree,
Yeah.
And I don't want to get messy. I'm too old to ask about the details of what you guys said, but I enjoyed listening to it. And again, I want you guys to profit. Is Joe still contracted to Love and Hip Hop with Mona Scott? Do you know?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I know that when we signed up, we were contracted for 6 seasons.
Okay.
I jumped off after the first one. It just wasn't beneficial for me.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure he should be out by now.
Okay. Well, anything you want to say? Again, I'm not trying to be messy about it. I just,
Yeah, I know. I love the stance that you're taking now, grown man shit. I'll turn on my mic and I'll continue to be messy for a few more years myself. I kind of enjoy it. I missed it. However, I did hear some of the conversation with the caller Rory and the other guy.
Rory and Florida Boy Jay.
Yeah, and you know what? Two things could be right at the same time. Two things can be. Yeah. So I feel both of them. Me being close to that situation and actually knowing Wallo and writing the book and just knowing the story and then knowing who he presents himself in real life off camera. Yeah. Two things can be accurate at the same time.
I've never met Wallo, but I have so much genuine love and respect for Gilly to the point where, I trust his judgment, and it's not just because Wallo is his family. So I know Gilly to be a man of high moral standards, very credible. And he has
Gilly, I do have a lot of love for. Gilly's a stand-up guy. He's solid.
Gilly has done so much in terms of giving back to the communities. Come on my show multiple times, and so I'm okay with what Wallo said. I'm sure that there's a method to the madness, if you will. But that's it. I mean, it's the talk of the town. But with regards to you, young lady, and you're still a very young lady, I say that with all due respect. When is your podcast coming out? Where is it? Give me some details so I can promote it for you, please.
I have some things on the calendar that I'm working on, but I'm aiming for within the next month or so. I'll be dropping once a week. I'm going to hold the name because people are so funny style. They like to trademark shit, but excuse the language. I know you guys don't curse on here.
No.
But yeah,
cursing is fine. I saw you on a YouTube platform. It's okay to mention it. You were sitting there with some very expensive boots. Come on.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm always going to have an expensive shoe on, if nothing else.
The name of the platform. Come on. Promote it.
Well, that platform was I'll Stop This Podcast Later. That's with Danny from The Stop. He's someone that I Yes, the stop. He's the kid that I found on Twitter who, does this thing. He kind of goes back and forth on the Joe Budden critiques and stuff. I think you and him may have had a conversation at one point. But
I've never had a conversation. A lot of these people claim they've had a conversation, and I don't say that to be mean spirited. I've never spoken to him, but I wish him all the best. I wish you all the best. Keep me posted.
Thank you. That's actually his podcast. I've been on a podcast tour and I did Mandy's as well. I'm just warming it up just to see how I feel again coming in front of the cameras again, and I like it. It's meant for me. It's my thing.
Yeah, you've got a lot to offer, and I don't want to get messy, but let me just say this: I heard that someone responded, a female, something about a mugshot. And I said, well, that sounds hot, but Rocky's born and raised in Miami, Florida, and those girls down there fight to the bitter end. Yes.
Yeah, I'm never fazed by a botched linebacker. I got this. You're gonna smile for the camera with 2 teeth missing.
Miami, Florida, them girls fight to the bitter end.
Yeah. We'll get butt naked if we have to.
Okay. Well, listen.
I love you dearly, sir. Hope to see you soon. And I'm going to ask you, will you visit me once I turn these mics back on? Once I crack these mics, will you visit?
Absolutely. I'm in Emerald Isle, North Carolina right now, and I've got a whole heap of stuff I have to address up north in another month or so. But I will absolutely come by and have that conversation on camera with you. Absolutely.
I adore you. Have a great show.
You too. Bye, Rocky. Okay. Rocky Thunder tapping in. And guys, and I fuck with Joe heavy. That's my guy. Joe invited me on his show again, Thank you for your donation. The podcast with Soul. That's the homie. Are you calling in, sir? Let me check my Sean G, right? Sean G, sit tight. I got you, sir. You'll be my next caller. Miss Magic. Hold on a second. Miss Magic going hard in the paint here. Let me get Sean G's information on the screen. The podcast with Soul. Gene Richmond, sit tight, sir. I see you in the queue. Guys, I've got more videos to play. We're going to be here for a while today, okay? Just everybody sit tight. Gene Richmond, a.k.a. number 9. Are you there, sir, on a Thursday?
Good afternoon on this Good Friday.
Yeah.
It is a good Thursday on the Star Report. It's great to see that you're bringing racial and cultural unity once again on your show.
Thank you for stopping by. Where do you want to start, sir?
Well, I just want to talk about Mr. Wallo his commentary in regards to the black business or entrepreneurship. I will say that he had a unique perspective in his diatribe. It was aggressive. It was in your face. But there's a unique dichotomy when it comes to that. Okay. On one end, you can say that the black businesses need to elevate themselves as far as presentation, economic value, and substance. But on the other end, there is a lack of understanding on how to get it there. And he said some things that were interesting, but he left out a key component. How do you learn to evolve? Now, I would have said that he should take.
Well, hang on a second. Did you see the full speech and the panel discussion? Because we only saw a snippet, a little window. I have not seen any more, but there's footage that clearly is floating around. Have you seen anything else?
I saw maybe about 60 seconds worth, and that's all I think I could stand. But I understand the direction. I understand the direction he's taking it, but he was missing one thing. Black businesses could learn from the most successful people in this nation that created the business model. White Americans. That's what I would have added to the speech. Successful white businesses, successful businessmen like
choo choo,
business European acumen. Yeah, choo choo. Yeah, exactly, choo choo. But understand who the business structure is built after. the most
Folks, that's the sound of the coon train. Choo choo.
successful, exactly. The most successful group in America is white Americans in regards to what they've done in the capitalist vein. If you look at the free market, that is a so-called white or a European element. This could be. Black people could learn a thing from this in regards to all sorts of business, customer service, you name it, the banking industry. If you just go to a white business, watch, observe, follow, understand the model, and then bring that back to your community so you can then evolve with a proper business model.
I'm going to jump in, number 9. And listen, you and I are friends. And for those who don't know, number 9 is as serious as colon cancer. He's not trolling. He is as serious right now as colon cancer, right, Gene?
Yeah, colon cancer, prostate cancer. Okay. I go deep. I go deep inside. I want to sink deep.
Pause. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Stay there. Stay there. I don't want to lose you just yet. Hold on a second. Sean G, can you hold on? I'm coming to you next. Sean G.
Yeah, I'm here, sir.
Okay, sit tight. Be right there. Okay, that's Sean G from the Podcast with Soul. Okay, Gene Richmond, back to you, sir. And might you want to try? Oh, I'm getting ready to play a video. Can Hunter Metcalf be charged with felony murder? There's a lawyer whose YouTube channel, it's a fresh channel. She gives a great breakdown, number 9. Hunter Metcalf, not Austin, who's dead. So you may or may want to call back after I play that video, okay?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I just want to say Hunter Metcalf is courageous. He lost someone very dear to him that was murdered by an individual that his family has made over $500,000 to go buy a big mansion, to buy Jordans, to buy a luxury vehicle. I saw a young man walk out of that jailhouse with a stone cold look on his face and Rasta twist in his head. I said, what am I watching? I didn't see a bit of remorse. I saw the darkness in that young man's eyes.
Okay, well, listen, let me play the video, man. Then you can call back because she gives a great legal breakdown with regards to how Hunter could be charged with felony murder. So let me play the video and you can call back if you have time.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, that's Gene Richmond, aka number 9, and he's on the coon train. He makes no mistake about it. Sean G, good to hear from you, man. The Podcast with Soul. Sean G.
Star, what's up, baby?
Hey, man, how are you? What's cracking? We're shaking.
I'm doing pretty good, man. I just tried to catch a little bit of what Wallo said on this other YouTube channel, but could you please kind of, because I've done business with Wallo. I've met Wallo in person. I've done business with Wallo. Could you kind of give me an update on like what exactly everybody's having a problem with?
Actually, I can only play the video. We played it once. I might play it again. I've never met Wallo, but with regards to his delivery, I think that's more so the concern. He's
I just watched it. I just watched what he said, and what he said was, if I come to your restaurant, do you have consistent cooks? Right. Is your food clean? Is your dishes clean? Right. Just because you're a black business, that don't necessarily mean I'm going to support you. Is that what people are having a problem with?
Yeah, and I'm not taking his side just because I got genuine respect for Gilly. Wallo is a North Philadelphia guy. Born and raised. And Philadelphia, as I'm sure you know, you're from Jersey like myself, it's culturally proud. Not just food, art, history, music. So if somebody from North Philly says, hey, I'm not just going to, support you just because you're black, I would tend to think he knows a lot of what he's talking about. Go ahead, Sean G.
You know what, Star, man? Constructive criticism is very difficult for people, for any human being that is super sensitive about being made aware
of their shortcomings, right? Now, I left the corporate world in 1999. I started my own business. And what I do, Star, is I strive, and I'm a foundational Black American nigga out of North Jersey, born and raised, New York City metropolitan area. And what I do, Star, is I try to achieve excellence, man, irrespective of who my client is. And I've dealt, I had a tax business, man, where I used to make about $300,000 every tax season. I had Polish clients. I had Italian clients. I had Jamaican clients. I had Dominican clients. I had Puerto Rican. I had them. And my thing was, I'm going to give you, the service I'm going to give you is going to be so all of that I don't care where you go. You're going to always say Sean Gumby's service is the best. Now, I agree with you. It may have been his delivery, right? But a lot of what he said is right, man. Yeah. You know, I can't run no.
Hang on a second. Let me jump in here, Sean G. Now, you're close to my age. You're not. I'm 60. You're in your.
I'm 56. 1969.
Okay. So, yeah, we can relate and connect to what Wallo said. What do you think about the younger generation, those in their 20s, those in their 30s? Do you think that his delivery may have been too strong for them? Whoa, you know? I mean, realistically, because I think he's 45, 46, you know, according to my research. You think his delivery may have been a little too strong, too centered in Black history?
Well, Star, that kind of goes back to what I said in the beginning. Constructive criticism and brutal honesty about your shortcomings to your face rubs a lot of people the wrong way. People want to be caressed and coddled with the truth. Right. This younger generation, I can't speak for them all, but there may be some truth to that. But at the end of the day, Star, this thing is about competition. The Star Report is what it is because Star is consistent with going live on YouTube damn near every day. And we can depend on that.
If I can jump in for a second, I appreciate that. But at the same time, I have had to adjust the margins. I'm always going to be who I am. I'm proud of my generation. I say and speak how I feel, but I am consciously aware that sometimes you have to, cover something a little differently from how I used to deliver it. I've got two nieces out in California, and they're in college, early in college, and one of them even says, she says, "Uncle Troy, can you please don't tell people you're my uncle? I love you, but just." And I say, okay, I got it. As she's asking me for 500 for a cash app or whatever. So that's all I'm saying, man. I mean, I agree with you across the board. But that younger generation, do you think that they may have seen Wallo and said, "Whoa, that's toxic masculinity"? That's all I'm asking. Go land your plane. I got other callers. Sean G.
Yeah, I Star, you know what I'm saying, man. I hear what you're saying, and like I say, I don't want to make a blanket statement about a whole group of people, but what I do know is this. Me, when I do business, I either want to get you on the phone, get you on FaceTime, or come face to face and conduct the business. Now, I know this younger generation wants to conduct business via text message.
Oh, yeah.
And
God.
And I'm saying, like, man,
it's all text.
So I got a store where I sell my merch. I got hoodies, books, merches, T-shirts.
Right.
And if I make a mistake, Star, and send you a 2X shirt and you order the extra large, and you call me and say, "Sean, you sent me the wrong thing," I'm going to call you back and say, Star, my bad, I apologize. I'm finna get a new one in the mail. I've done that with other black businesses, and they won't even reply to the comment, even nothing.
Sean G, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Yeah, man.
I understand. I know you know. I know you know.
That's the newer generation. And with all due respect, you've got a son. I saw your son. He's up that younger generation. He's moving, shaking, and popping. That's how they are, man. Everything is a text message. It's hard to get him on the phone. But listen, Sean, I got to take other calls, man. Salute to you guys. Go to the podcast with Soul Sean G. He's up on everything. Right, Sean?
Star, appreciate you, kid,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Peace.
All right, peace. Guys, that's my email address on the screen. Some of you have been on hold. I appreciate you. Okay, area code 215. Thank you for your patience. I got your email. Wallo267, getting dragged for telling what I perceive to be the truth. But hey, I'm an older guy. What say you?
What's good with you, Troy? How you doing?
I'm alive, sir. Niggas are dying. I'm alive. What's cracking?
That's what's up. Yeah, I just wanted to give you like the Philly perspective of what he said. First of all, me and Wallo and Gilly, we around the same age.
Okay.
And you know, Philadelphia, like you explained, we got a lot of cultural pride, like you said.
Right.
And another thing that you didn't mention, but you probably already know, Philadelphia is predominantly black. Like it's a predominantly black city. So, you know, kind of like your Detroit to the world. But Philadelphia don't have a lot of money. And we got a lot of black businesses. Like you could be in Philly. You couldn't live in Philly and not support a black business.
Facts.
It's real hard. It's real hard not to do it.
Right.
And like I'm talking about from the water rice stands, we got water rice stands, we got soul food places, anything you can name. We even got black Chinese restaurants here.
Yeah.
But the thing that I agree with Wallo, and I'm glad that he said it, is that it is a hustle when they get online and they say, "Oh, support my business because it's black." But then you go to the business, like they literally will tell you, "We black, support my business because it's black." Right. And then you figure. And, you know, you got all these Instagram pages that say, yo, this, you know, go to this. I'm not going to name no names. I'm not going to, because I can name names, but I'm going to give you a couple examples.
We don't have to. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to give you some examples. Like one of my homies, he got 2 grandkids, right? He called me up on the phone. He was like, yo, I'm taking my kids to this new black ice cream stand. Mm-hmm. He bought three Sundays, he said. I was on the phone with him. And then he said, I spent $45 for 3 things of ice cream from black people. Like, so that's what Wallo was talking about. Like, that's the hustle. Like, you tell me to come to your spot. Philadelphia is not a wealthy city. Right. Like, people got families. I took my daughters to a place that made soul food platters, barbecue soul food platters, right? So, you know, my kids is young, so they're not old. They charged me $50 for 3 plates of food. Like, it's like, come on, I'm a working man. Like, $50, I could have took them to Chick-fil-A.
I gotta jump in. I gotta jump in. Now, black owned businesses, prices, that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And that's what Wallo talking about. Like, you know, and then in the second video that you showed when he was yelling at the young boys, Philly, when I was coming up, like if you got a job with like the SEPTA is like our MTA, our buses and trains and stuff, like that was like hitting the lottery. SEPTA now, they can't find workers. Like they do a thing on the news every morning talking about this bus gonna be late, this train gonna be late, because they don't have no drivers.
Right.
And those are the jobs for the young boys. So I'm figuring Wallo, like you said, is he like a Malcolm X? He might be a Malcolm X because he came from the prison system, and he's yelling at black. That's what black people need to hear. Like, they don't need to hear, yeah, y'all doing great. No, we're not doing great. Yeah. Go get some of these city jobs. You're not going to be an Instagrammer. You're not going to be a YouTuber. Right. You're not going to be a rapper. You're not going to be, and if you do become a shooter, you're going to jail. Right. Go get one of these city jobs. The police need thousands of cops. And I know you're a supporter of the police. Yeah. They need thousands.
I am police, sir. Allegedly. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, what it is what it's going to be. But so you know that the police in Philly make they starting at like $75,000, $80,000. They can't find nobody to do the job.
when Trump laid off all them federal workers, our mayor in the city went down to D.C. and tried to get them people to come to Philly to work because they can't find nobody to work. And that's what I believe Wallo is telling the young boys. Like, go get you a city job. Go get you a job in one of them buildings where you would get a pension and a union representation. These young boys don't want to do that. They can't even find trash men in this city. Like, it's crazy.
If I can add, there is truth to what he's saying. I don't know the stats, to be honest with you, of young black males. I assume he's talking about predominantly black males. I don't know the stats, with regards to not wanting certain jobs or, going to trade schools and things of that nature. But, you got to be focused on something other than rapping, producing, and trying to become a professional athlete. So again, I'm trying to be objective here, but it's hard at my age not to look at some of the history and say, you know what? Yeah, man, I don't fuck with black businesses. But again, land your plane, man. I appreciate your donation and your patience.
No, I just wanted to say that I agree with Wallo. His voice is needed. You know what I'm saying? And the youth definitely need to step up and stop being like, I work with the youth. They want to be YouTubers. They want to be exactly like he said. They want to be rappers. They want to be hoodlums. And they need to hear what he got to say. And the black businesses definitely need to step it up. They need to drop them prices because it's ridiculous. And they need to be, just like he said, they need to be clean and ready to serve you.
Okay.
So thanks for taking the call.
I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, hang on a second. Okay, I just got a text from Deeds. She says Wallo is 45. He'll be 46 in June. He's doing the damn thing. Okay, check your link I just sent. Check your email. Guys, if you're a sponsor, you're always welcome to cam up or call in. And if you're trying to become a sponsor and your money's not right, reach out to us. I can work with you. We use the old layaway plans. Anybody ever heard of layaway in the live chat? Layaway, your money ain't right? It's okay. Just give me what you got. God Family USA, I got your donation. Okay. I don't know what's going on in the live chat. Somebody got busted with a weave. Where we going, sir? That man spent Skrilla. Let's get him on the screen. Yeah, reach out via email. We send out analytics. We show you everything that's going on behind the scenes. Oh, and guys, I'm going to try to remember to talk a little bit later. Miguel Candelaria. You guys remember Miguel, my producer from the Star and Buck Wild show? Miguel and I, we've been friends all these years, and Miguel wants to do a radio project. Not traditional radio, but I'll bring you up to speed a little bit later. Miguel will be spearheading the actual journey, and he has my full support. Okay, there you are. I was looking for your donation to put it on the screen. Thank you for your support. God Family USA. Okay, Miss Magic busted with a weave. Damn. Hence why you're a miss and not Mrs. Okay, thank you for your donation, sir. Mike Williams, I got your donation. Wallo don't care. He is backed by white dollars. Oh, uh-oh. Can you send us some proof, sir? Can you elaborate? Sean, I got your donation. Props to the show. Thank you, Sean. Wow, okay. Mike says FBA is the worst in the service industry and food. I don't know about that. I would say possibly Jamaicans. You know, I've a couple of weeks ago I came on the show. Remember, and I tell you about that slave, that coconut slave I'm not going to go back into the whole goddamn story, but I was waiting on my change, and he was just so amazed by this poor white trash that he's talking to. And I literally had to say, excuse me, is that my change? Thank you for your donation, Mike. I would say Jamaicans, the absolute worst. Let me go to area code 216. Hey there, good evening. Thank you for your patience. Are you there? 216. Yes, no, maybe.
Yo, start. Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
How are you, man? Thank you for stopping by.
I'm all right. Hey, thank you for having me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, I just wanted to comment on the Wallo situation he had with the, he was addressing the black businesses. I think that the issue is that Wallo doesn't have enough equity with black people.
Uh-oh.
And,
Uh-oh.
And I'm not,
is he a coon, sir? Don't be afraid to, put your foot on the gas. Is he a coon?
I wouldn't necessarily call him a coon, but he was on coon time with the way he was speaking. He was on coon time the way he was addressing the black community. And I say that I justify that by saying this. If you go into any Chinese food restaurant, you ordering from these folks, and we all got them in all these major cities, we're not holding them to the same standards, and they selling you mystery meat and gutter oil. I agree. The Jamaican spots that I go into, the service is suspect, especially if you go in there and you got a white person standing next to you. They gonna let it be known they value that white dollar over black dollars.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say the same thing for any type of other business you go into. The Arabs that own the gas stations, they ain't pristine and clean and floors mopped and anything. They got bulletproof glass sitting off in the front of the store. They don't even speak to you face to face. I know there should be a standard to how you conduct yourself if you're a professional, if you have a business. Yes, you do have the right to keep your business in tip-top shape or as best you can if you expect to have top clientele or continue business. He wants to put unrealistic expectations on black businesses when he got Barstool Sports that really gave him in Gilly the contract for $1 million worth of game. And your audience is predominantly black people. I would assume that. And the same people that support your business, you turn around and this is how you talk to that group publicly. That's my problem. What has he done? And I don't knock his hustle. Salute to the man and him and Gilly. They getting their money on that podcast. But listen, man, it is hard out here in this country if you're black, FBA especially, to get your feet off the ground and stay legit. This man has been to prison, got out, turned his life around. Salute to him. But with the recidivism rate in this country, when it comes to men and women going into the clink and going back in, and it's hard to get their footing. When he talk about guys being at home with their parents, a lot of guys and women that do time, they get a hard outcome coming out. Getting established on their own, so they stand with family members. So how could he go ahead and he been through the same thing? I understand your grind is what it is. Sometimes you need a hand out. Somebody needs to pull you up and advocate for you to get an opportunity. Okay. So what is he, what has he, my question to him is, what has he done to gain so much equity to speak like he's so high and mighty? And I hate to say it, I agree with Rory. The white boy even looking at him. The white boy looking at him straight.
Whoa. Sir, where you calling from?
Cleveland, Ohio.
You co-signing that white boy? Certainly, he's a friend of mine, but I'll give him some smoke too. You co-signing the cave dweller, huh?
Man, listen, a broke clock is right twice a day. That don't necessarily mean I agree with everything he's spitting because he be off the wall sometimes. But hey, look,
you co-signing the grafted man against Wallo, who did 20 years in the goddamn penitentiary. Well, hold on. Let me just respond. I appreciate you. I'll let you know. You co-signing the grafted man against a black man who did 20 years, sir. He's come out of the
co-signing.
Hold on, sir.
Okay.
And he's got to talk to you, not down to you. The messenger to the black man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he used to say, I have to tear you down to build you back up. And he used to say to black women, I'm going to talk to you and you're going to listen. If not, I got a big old lake over there. I'll put you in it. Now, he was very cut and dry. He didn't have the wordplay that Malcolm had. It became sweet to black ears, but the messenger was hardcore. So now, again, Wallo may not be the most articulate person, but you're saying he's talking down to the black audience when in reality, maybe he's got to be harsh so that you pay attention. What do you think?
I think that just like I opened the call with, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan, Malcolm X, those black men of those ilks have equity with the black community to speak the way they speak and have spoken.
What type of equity, sir? Married to a black woman, a black child? What type of equity?
I would say they've been a resource to the black people within their circles, and I would say the nation has built itself off of being that type of resource amongst each other. I can't necessarily say black people as a whole or FBAs as a whole benefit from what the nation principles and if you're outside of the nation, yeah, you might not benefit fully, but from the message and some of the teachings, I believe they have something that you can use constructively within your life. But I can't necessarily say the same thing in regards to Wallo. His message, I understand what he may be getting at, but his delivery is way off. And I believe that he's generalizing black people as a whole instead of concentrating on the people that may need that help. Because when he spoke, he wasn't speaking on a certain black man or woman in general. He said black businesses. That's all I got. I got one question for you on the Cash App. Is when I type in Snitch Network, I'm trying to send a donation. Is it with 2 Ks? Because there's one on there.
It's on the screen right there. So it's right there.
Yes, but the way it's spelled when it comes up on Cash App, it has 2 Ks. It has your picture on there.
Sir, spell it the way it is on the screen. You got all sorts of scammers going on, sir. Spell it the way it is.
Yeah, is it okay if I send it to Star Network?
No, sir. Snitch Network. It's right there, sir. Tax deductible. Okay. That's my 501c3. I'm out here working I'm working like Wallo, sir. The way it's spelled.
I feel you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank
you.
Do
your thing, man. Thank you.
Okay. He's trying to spell it a different way. No, man, spell it the way it's spelled on the goddamn screen. Miss Magic says, I am married. My hair is real. Black men are not leading in marriage, but try to take shots. Okay. Terrence, I got your donation. Most black-owned businesses need to work on their customer service to survive. I don't think that will ever change. I thank you for your donation. And if you guys just now joining me, when you go down to the Atlanta metro area, you should expect nasty attitude, overpriced food. Their servers, they're trying to become famous, so they don't have that care. They just drop the plates in front of you. Thank you for your donation. Tomorrow became today. Star, a career sellout. Pay attention. Well, sir, you never heard me say back in the days, I'm not selling out, I sold out. That's what I used to say a long time ago. Unseen Future. Jay, how are you, sir? Thank you for tapping in.
Hey, what's going on? What's happening, Star?
You are one of my sponsors, so I need you to bring your camera down some so we can get you right in the thumbnail. There you go. Pow! Instagram.com/unseen future. And tell us about your website as well so they can know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, so Unseen Future, I sent you a bunch of stuff too. I don't know if you was able to review that. I might have sent a little bit.
It's in the community section, and I want you to promote it, and we'll get your banner, the first banner after the show's over.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, so I've been at this as far as doing creative directing and doing graphic design, illustration for various industries for over the last 20 years or so at this point. We're talking tech industry, entertainment, a lot of apparel related stuff, merch and things of that nature. And it's a journey. And ironically, you're talking about, Wallo mentioned. I don't know how familiar you are with George Fraser, but he said something where
absolutely.
He said something to the thought of if I go in and I shop at a black business or I shop at a Jewish business, the deciding factor is it's the same quality of service, but you're still getting the same quality of service, but instead I'm also patronizing someone that looks like me. And it's not necessarily something where I do think that needs to be a consistent level of, especially like stuff that I do. Like if I do you know, if I work for Intel, the same work that I'm doing for Intel, the same work that I'm doing for Palo Alto, I work with them. I'm going to make sure that when I do work for my community and people that look like me in a similar space, that quality, the high level of quality is there too. And honestly, that's a benefit and it's a blessing in a way. If you have a skill set that's at such a high level, why would you not? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Hype Williams. Hype Williams at one point was running, you know, as far as music videos and stuff, but all his stuff, you could tell it had a consistent high quality. So,
okay.
You know, this is how I view it as far as it goes, because you know that I do think about that as if anybody, you know, that looks like me and they hire me, and it's like I got to make sure that, you know, I got to really dig deep because I want us to be represented in the best way possible.
If I can jump in, I have no problem with anything you've just said. No problem with it. And to be fair, there's a certain cultural connection that you need to have when you go into a Black-owned business, when you're talking with people, whether it's small talk or, you know, just connecting, you know, and I have to be honest and say that connection has not always been there for me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm a little too arrogant, a little too confident, cocky, convinced. But then again, the younger generation, they, you know, do you think that there's a difference? You know, Wallo's almost 50. Do you think that there's a difference between your generation being more accepting of quote unquote Black-owned businesses? To be fair,
not necessarily. I mean, it might be more of a generational thing, even outside of culture. So maybe, you know, in that sense, but then, you know, at the same time, you know, the era, you know, coming up in like in the 90s or what have you, it was just kind of like it is what it is. It was what it was. There's no sugarcoating. Kevin Samuels, for example. Kevin Samuels ultimately his message and what he was trying to do was trying to, you know, grow Black relationships and create more Black marriages, which, you know, that's something that's it's admirable and it's something that's respectable that he was trying to do. His message, that was the main thing that, you know, a lot of sisters had issues with his message. I'm not necessarily saying anything against that, but like my dad, you know, when I was coming up.
Hang on. Before we go to your dad, and I say that with all due respect.
Yeah.
But now, to be fair, you know, Kevin Samuels, it took him a lot of years to get that swag, you know, because if you look at him from a decade ago, he wasn't that guy. He wasn't that dude, right?
I mean, it's a process though. He had to find his lane.
Jay, we're just talking about a decade ago, 20 years ago. He wasn't that guy. It took him some time, and when he got it popping on all the cylinders, he got it popping. But now he was married and divorced twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he died, you know, R.I.P., he died with someone from another culture. He didn't die with Big Shirley. He didn't die with Makisha, Sharika, you know. He died with some type of a Latina, right?
No. But that Latina though, was that proven that was his lady, or that was just somebody just coming?
It doesn't matter. He was with her at the end, whatever they were doing. I don't know. Just saying, you know, they were there. Then she described what happened. So I'm just trying to say, man, that, you know, the older guys, you know, sometimes they say shit, man, but it's like, you know, how old are you again? I forget. How old are you?
I'm 40. I'm 40. Okay. I might not look it.
You're young now. You're younger than Wallo. You're younger than Wallo.
I'm old.
No, you're not. Stop it. You're very young. And so I'm just trying to, you know, to have this discussion. Hold on a second. Kuala, sit tight. Jen, I see you in the queue. Sit tight. So with regards to, you know, what Wallo said and so on and so forth, you are a Black entrepreneur, and is your circle, your network predominantly Black?
It's a mixture. Because I pretty much I found my lane in LA. So remember I was telling you all the different connections I have. That's based on me just being in LA for 10 years.
Why aren't you in Atlanta? That's supposedly where the Black tech world was supposed to be, right?
Yeah, but Atlanta is changing though. It's not the same Atlanta was 10, 15 years ago.
I know, but I'm just saying that was the big talk, the Black tech world. I mean, I used to see all these articles, like you said, a decade ago. But what happened?
I don't know because a lot of it too is that you got these new business models for cities where you're gonna have these like 15-minute cities where they're just like, you know, interconnected, you know, tech hubs. So you know, where you go to the restaurant, your hotel, everything is like connected to, you know, one type of device or what have you, or the Internet of Things as they call it. But LA really opened their arms and accepted me. I just you find your lane. Like I met this person, met that person, met all these people, and then this was like a domino effect. And that's how like so many doors was able to open. But otherwise, I would have went to Atlanta, but that's just how it just ended up happening for me.
Can you hang on, Jay? Can you stay with me?
Sure.
Okay, guys, this is one of my sponsors, Jay. Let me make sure his information is on the screen. And there's a banner in my community section that will take you to his services, Unseen Future. Someone has been on hold here for a while. Let me bring in this particular caller, area code 272. Thank you for your patience. Please watch the language. Good evening, 272.
Hey, what's going on, sir? It's Quad.
Hey, man.
I got two things. One was Joe and Raquel, but I'm gonna talk about Wallo. Wallo is fake and phony. Because if you go back to the previous interviews he did with Gilly, he talked about when he came home, nobody gave him a handout. He said, I went to all these black people, all my black friends, all these black businesses, nobody want to give me nothing. All right, so now you saying that you're not going to help out black businesses because they got black business. Okay, I understand that. But the only reason you're talking because a white man put money in your pockets and it wasn't a black person. The difference is between white and black. A lot of black businesses don't have the connections like a lot of these white folks do. That's the difference. If we had a lot of these black businesses had the connections a lot of these white businesses had, a lot of black businesses will be able to be successful. The problem is they don't have those connections. They don't know the places to go. And 9 out of 10, when most black folks try to find certain things or find certain type of avenues, you got other people that know the connections, but they're not going to give it to them because they don't want to mess their connection up. Okay. So what Wallo was saying, what he's saying, you talking to people, boy, they're not hearing you. Because you can't talk about it because you was broke. The difference is you got millions and millions of dollars now. You're not eating at the $10 restaurants no more. You eating at the $50, $80, $100 restaurant. You're not going to a black owned restaurant that's probably charging you $30 for a plate. You going to eat steak and lobster tails. Like, come on, stop.
Kuala, is Wallo married? Is he a father? Is he married? What's his background?
I don't know about kid. I think he has a daughter, if I'm correct. I think he has a daughter, but I don't think he's married or nothing like that. But nah, you can't.
Did he find himself a white queen yet? I mean, if he's got all that money he's talking about doing, I mean, it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, I didn't see him date anybody yet. He never talked about that. But I heard the whole.
Hold on, Kuala. Hold on, guys. This is my nigga Kuala with the T on the line. Troll babies. Is Wallo running around with a pink toe? Does Wallo got a pink? Not Wallo. Wallo. Does Wallo got himself a pink toe? A snow bunny? Is he talking all that crazy shit? Like what's that black guy's name? Jesse. He was on some television show, and then he left his black wife. You know what I'm talking about, Jay?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I know exactly who you talking about. I know exactly. I don't know his name, but I know exactly who you talking about.
Nigga's name from that. It was a Grey's Anatomy. What's that nigga's name? They gave him an award on BET. Come on, Jay. Google, man. Get your phone out. Hold on a second.
And
what is that nigga's name? Hold on. Troll baby says Wallo got too much money. Has the nigga gone crazy? Let's go there.
He's definitely going crazy. The money is talking to him, Star. The money is talking to him because he wasn't talking.
Jesse Williams. That's that nigga. Jesse Williams.
Dude. Yeah.
That nigga was talking all that fly shit about the black community and then left his black queen for a basic looking white bitch. Back to you, Kuala with the T. Let's go, sir.
Yeah, the one thing, Star, I will say this about Wallo is Wallo runs around and he does speak positive stuff. That I'm not going to take that away from Wallo, right? But Wallo also likes to bring down the black folks. He always likes to bring down black people and say this and that. And my problem with him is you did your 20 years, whatever you did your 20 years, you home free, you did your time, that's fine. If you came home and nobody gave you a handout, listen, and that's what a lot of people, not just him, people always think when they come home from jail, somebody got to get them a handout. It's not how it works. Because 9 out of 10, most people out here working. But if you feel that you can't go to black businesses because none of these black people helped you, 9 out of 10, most black businesses can't help a lot of people because they trying to make it themselves. So if you coming home and you saying, hey, I need a handout, yeah, I can give you a hand, I give you a job, but that don't mean I got to give you money to get on your feet. And it just happens. Yeah.
See, I see it different, Kuala, on some grimy shit because I'm, I was a grimy nigga for a lot of years, and if I came home from the penitentiary, I would want niggas to break me off. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Break me off. I'm running up in your shit. You ever done time, Kuala?
And as far as
Kuala, you ever done time?
Huh?
You ever done time? Penitentiary time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long? You did a stretch? Did you stretch?
I did 18 months.
Okay. The most I ever did was 30 days. 30 days skid bit, but yeah, if I do a bullet, I'm taxing niggas, man. I don't give a fuck, man. But listen, I appreciate you, man. Anything else you want to say? You want to promote anything?
Nah. Right now, everything is going good. Right now, it's right now. All you see in this game and Kanye West going at it. He said he's gonna return them cards back, man.
As he should. Salute, Kuala. I appreciate you, man.
You too. See you on top.
Kuala with the T. Is it Britty? Britty, I got your donation. Thank you very much via Zelle. Sunday is admiring your glasses. Jay on the screen.
Yeah, I got a lot of them. I collect them.
Someone is on hold. 718. Where is Hey, I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much. Who am I speaking to? Area code 718.
Peace, Star. It's Pat.
Pat, how are you, man? I didn't want to say your government name. Was cracking.
It's all good. No, I just wanted to kind of tap in with the Wallo whole fiasco. There was something that you said a while back, which is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's nobody's business to teach you business.
That's an old.
But it's your response.
That's an old saying from the 80s. I didn't, coin that term, but I've always used that. It's not my business to teach you business.
Right, right. And I took that and I ran with that to the point where it's like, yo, it's your responsibility to learn what you need to do and thrive in business. So I don't think people are necessarily upset with the message that Wallo's delivering, but the details in the message, because they see the reviews, they see the complaints. It's the work ethic and the sweat equity that's not appealing. Okay. And what does that look like? Efficient customer service, right? Or growth and development in product quality, or a robust operational reliability, right? And these are things that you've developed like over the years, just kind of watching on YouTube at least, right? So you have to show consistent growth in business leading to increased repeat business and positive reviews. That's not easy. That's not appealing. So therefore the message is trash. And now you trash the person that's delivering the message. So that's my take on that.
You sound like a man of experience and knowledge, with regards to running a black-owned business. Have you been there, or have you had any experience you want to share with us? Personal experience?
I mean, right now, yeah, I'm in it, and I'm in the worst type of business there is, which is education. Just having a little company on education, trying to, help with math and science and things like that. And it'd be like, do I even want to go on for the next couple of years? Because you get, the worst of the worst sometimes. And it's like, why y'all giving me such a hard time? And I'm trying to help your future. But at the end of the day, like I said, you got to decide, this is not easy. This is not appealing. What am I really doing this for?
Are you a teacher?
Right? I know.
Are you a teacher?
No, I'm not a teacher. I just, from college, I took up on, I really had an affinity for calculus and things like that. So I just stuck with it. And I just help with tutoring and things like that.
Hang on. You're a tutor?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're trying to tutor young black children?
Yeah, directly. It's not just children, but college students, graduate students. That's what I've been doing for quite a while, almost 15 plus years. So.
You said 50?
No, 15.
15.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but you may want to get into a different field, because AI is going to be, teaching these kids, raising them, nationwide for the most part. And, you would know better than me, but just, in my mind, I'm a low budget sociologist. I think we've got a lot of niggas now that are proud to be ignorant. I mean, if you try to correct somebody's spelling, they're like, well, this is just the internet. This is not a goddamn dissertation.
Right. And like you always say, adjust the margins. So that's what I'm doing now. And I've decided to kind of just, exit out of that. So I appreciate that advice.
Well, I appreciate you being on hold, man. Anything else you want to say? Joe Budden and Rocky Thunder have reunited. I can't get too messy. Any thoughts on that? Did you hear the audio?
Nah, I'm gonna let them do what they do. I know Joe probably gonna bug out, but we'll see what happens.
I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Peace.
Jay, I want you to land your plane, man. Anything else you want to mention with regards to your platform? Are you doing any type of specials? Anything with regards to business at Unseen Future?
Let's see. At the moment, a couple of people reached out from the platform, so thanks for that. I've already taken care of a few people as far as that, and I mean, if you have any projects, people out there, and you need somebody to help you elevate and really tell your story, reach out to me, DM me on Instagram. And and so
are you married? Are you a father? Who are you? For those who may want to know your background.
No, I'm not married. I'm just so dedicated to to my work, and just making sure that gets out there at this point. And also,
are you an incel? What? Are you incel?
Nah. I'm player by mine. Bro. Like, I'm good. Like I'm not hurting in that way. Okay. Bro, look how fly I am. Like, come on.
I'm not looking at you like that, man. But
I'm just saying. But as far as that goes, man, I just like you passionate about radio and stuff like that, and you've always been passionate. I've followed your career somewhat. So like the same way with me.
Well, so never mind me. Sunday likes your glasses. Do you want to respond to Sunday? She likes your glasses.
I mean, Sunday DM me. Let's chat. If she sees something she like, holler at me.
Okay.
And outside of that, but yeah, I got that one project I want to say that I'm working on at the moment with my guide Blooming Music Publishing.
Okay.
And, it's a new music publishing company. And we've been building. I don't know if you're familiar with Joints and Denzel Denny. They've been. I don't, because I know you in industry. So
okay, send me an email, man, and then I can make sure that I cross promote it for you, man. But
yeah.
Guys, this is Jay from Unseen Future. Holler at that, man. Jay, I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. All right, holler at you later.
Yes, sir. Salute.
All right.
Okay, guys, thank you for your patience. I had to go get some ice water, turn the AC on. Let me get Janet in here. Hey, Janet, are you there on a Thursday evening? Janet?
Hey, Star, how are you?
Janet, I'm alive. So good to hear from you. I responded to you sent me a song of the day early. What'd you send me? I forgot.
I think it was Nina Simone. I'm feeling good.
Right. And I sent you back Tina Marie, Ooh La La La. Did you get it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Beautiful song.
Yeah. All right, where do you want to start? Wallo 267 is getting dragged for I'm saying the truth. He's a North Philly nigga, culturally proud people in Philly. If anybody can critique black folks at restaurants, hair salons, accounting firms, it's a North Philly nigga, if you ask me.
Okay, so let's how come he didn't mention all these people walking up into the Waffle House, that customer service over there? How come he didn't mention the Denny's customer service? I remember one time I went to Denny's in my military uniform, flying back to Jersey, and they served me an ice cold plate. I was in my uniform and they did that. How about that customer service? How about the customer service when you go over to New York to these fancy dancy restaurants when you're taking your kids out and they serve you that half bland, half cooked food? What about when you go over here to these Dominican spots and you go get some chicken and rice and got cat hair everywhere and half done chicken skin? All right. So at least when I go to a black restaurant, I may have to put up with some smart words or something. And sometimes it's not even bad customer service. It's that they re-raising you from what you should know, because sometimes we ourselves have little attitudes that since we're spending our money, we got a little, our shoulders pushed back a little bit. And sometimes we have to be brought down a peg or two.
Okay.
So sometimes you can learn something from what the customer service people telling you.
Come on.
So, they sit up there, you talking about customer service, and yet y'all sit up, folks sit up on social media every day, all day, big up Waffle House, and they don't even serve you real butter. All that is margarine. You go to IHOP, people always go, let's go to IHOP, get some steak. They don't even give you real eggs unless you ask for it. So at least when I go to a soul food restaurant, when I ask for some eggs and cheese and grits and some fried fish, I know what I'm getting. And I'm going to be eating good. Now, maybe they'll tell me, hey, sit this way or do this or do that. Maybe that's constructive criticism and not bad customer service. That's the only thing I have to say about the whole thing, And then all this black rage.
If I can respond, you've said a lot and you've hit on a lot of good points. Hit on a lot of good points. And listen, I'm trying to be objective here. Is Wallo a jailbird nigga, ungrateful, now talking crazy, nigga riding around in what is he riding around in Troll Babies, Ferraris and all sorts of fly shit, telling niggas what they should do, follow his lead, but don't forget to purchase some merch. And I'm rambling. What do you think? You think he might be on that type of time now, doing too much?
I think he's peddling black rage, which is the easiest thing to peddle, because people still get outraged by by black rage issues, and I think he's doing it to make $1. I don't think he's doing this because he really cares. Because if he really cared, he would have spoke on the whole thing all over. Because you talk about black customer service, you know what? I go to black restaurants all the time as constructive criticism. It is not bad service. Okay. At least when I'm eating my food, I know it ain't a ton of goddamn margarine on my pancakes.
You fit in.
That's just what I'm saying. So before,
why ain't Wallo kicking up dust at McDonald's selling tilapia? It's not even flounder or nothing. It's guys. What is McDonald's? Chicken McNuggets and the fish sandwich. It's not even fish, right? It's not seafood.
No, it's some type of cod they fly in from overseas, frozen.
No, they make
it. You know what I'm saying?
They make it. It's not fish. They make it in a goddamn a vat. It's not even fucking fish. But okay, so I appreciate everything you've just said. I don't want to cut your flow. Anything else you want to say with regards to Wallo 267, or do you want to address Joe Budden and Rocky Thunder? They reunited. It's beautiful. I love it.
So I don't know much about Joe Budden. I do watch his show, but I do own the Budden website. That I own that name. So if anybody want to buy a hint, then just give me a call. Yeah, I got a lot of names. I got a lot of websites I own with different names.
Hold on. Budden. You own that?
Yeah, the Budden, yeah.
Oh, the Budden. The Budden.
Yeah, the Budden.
The Budden. Okay.
Yeah, I own it. Okay. I call it because like the Button. I couldn't get the button.com, so I got the Button.
Okay.
The Button, his name, yes.
Okay.
I own it. So anyway, so so I do a lot of stuff. That's why I tell you,
I appreciate
I gotta be quiet on certain things.
I appreciate you. hey, did you link up with Dana and Judge Joe Brown? Oh, they got it lit right now. They're popping.
Yeah, I told her at a certain date because I wanted to make sure I tie some legal loose ends, and that everything is done now. So
protect the bag.
But yeah,
protect the bag.
I just wanted to. I just wanted to speak on that, that black rage that he's trying to peddle, and everything he's talking about in itself is stereotypical. It's not even surface. It's surface. If he wanted to show people something, he could have got with some business adventure capitalists and went to different restaurants and say, hey, he could have even made a show about it. Let's go to these restaurants like that chef dude, what's that guy name? And let's see how we could turn their restaurant around.
Keith Lee, you mean?
No, not Keith Lee. It's a white Chef Gordon. How he goes to different restaurants and turn them around. He could have done that. He could have done that in a hood version if he was serious about helping people instead of just running his mouth.
Janet, to be fair, I've only seen a snippet of the panel. I would imagine that he has addressed a lot of things, and I'm just trying to be fair, but I appreciate you. Miss Magic sends in a donation. She says, Janet, are you saying for us to take it on the chin because the business is black? ?
No, I didn't say that. So don't try to twist my words. What I said is maybe we're looking at it in the wrong light. Because let's be real. I know, and sometimes I do it. So when we go out to spend our money, we get, because we're so used to being of service to everybody else and working and having stuff on our shoulders that when we go out, we want to feel and act kind of elitist, if for lack of a better term. And then we start talking about something. Instead of a spot on this glass, you understand what I'm saying? Oh, tell the waitress to come and change this glass. I see a spot when there's no spot. And when they tell you about yourself, you take it in the right light, because that is not bad customer service.
Okay.
That is constructive criticism.
Okay.
That you should profit from. That's it.
Okay. Hey, before you go, are you familiar with brass construction, or is that going back too far before your time?
Probably going back before my time, because it's not, off the top of my head, I can't tell you that I know what that is.
I'm gonna try. Okay? I'm gonna try and bookmark a song by Brass Construction to send to you tomorrow when you send me the song of the day. Great to talk to you, Janet.
Oh, okay. Bye, Star.
Bye
Thank
now.
you.
Okay. All right. The Most High, I see you, sir. Thank you for your donation. I consider myself pro-black, but he was talking about the black businesses that don't have good customer service specifically. Was he talking about FBA, Foundational Black Americans? A lot of those people are kind of quiet. Oh, I got to take this call before I play another video. Hold on a second. I think that's the homie right there. Rob Lowe, is that you, sir? Area code 201, Rob Lowe.
Peace, Star Salute. How you doing?
Peace. Good to hear from you, man. Where do you want to start? Thank you for tapping in.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna deal with Wallo.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with what he said. I think he definitely was speaking the truth. It is a fact, some of the things that he was saying. And I think where the problem comes in with what he said, why it's triggering certain people, is because I think he was talking to his base when he was in that room of people talking.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of good points made by a lot of people on the phones. So it's a lot to go over. You would probably need to dedicate a whole show just to what might be the issues with black business. But I'll start here with where I identify with what he said, and where I identify where the problem with what he said when he was talking to his base. First of all, not everybody is a nigga. That's number one. When he was speaking to the people in that room, I think he was preaching to his choir.
Okay.
And when it got out, what he was saying, yes, there's a lot of people that can be offended by what he was saying. And there were some things that he did say that were offensive, like talking about buying Porsches and buying Ferraris. When you buy a Porsche and a Ferrari, That's your dollar leaving your community. You will never see that money again until someone else comes driving by in that car through your hood. That's a major problem right there. If you have a problem with, I've been in businesses where everybody has bad business. I've been in Jewish restaurants, bad business, bagel shops, bad business, Italian restaurants, bad business. And these were not low bar establishments. Okay. Some of these establishments were very ritzy and high priced downtown Manhattan, up in skyscrapers overlooking the whole city. Bad service. Bad people talking to you like you don't belong there. But that's another issue. But to the point of what he was trying to say and where black businesses go wrong, because we should have a diatribe and we should be able to speak to one another. Everything doesn't need to be videotaped. He's in a place where there are people videotaping him so that he'll go viral.
I think that's really hard to fight these days. I mean, you can't even be an entertainer on stage and stop people from filming. That's respectfully, Rob. You can't stop that. When Jews have meetings like that, you don't see recordings. When Italians, Irish, when the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans, when the Arabs, these people, they get together and they have meetings like what he was doing, because that's how they enter into our neighborhoods. That's how they convince other family members and other kinship to come into our neighborhoods. They have meetings like that. They discuss it openly. Groups of people. Okay.
You don't see none of their recordings ending up on the net. And I'm not saying that that's his fault. But see, when he goes into those meetings to talk about sponsorship, he ain't talking to them like that. Maybe some of the younger white or Jewish or whoever he's talking to, he might talk to like that, because they might be talking back to him like that, because they're trying to get in on our culture. But he knows when to use that type of language and when not to. But the other larger problem with this is that black people don't have no unity, so we don't have no power, so we don't have any discipline, we don't have any parameters, we don't have unspoken rules, we don't have any of that to keep us in line when there is a movement in a direction.
With all due respect, Rob Lowe, and I appreciate what you bring to the table when we have these discussions. A lot of that has to do with the fact that other cultures, ethnicities, if you will, got a head start or a helping hand. I'm half Italian.
Absolutely.
Hang on. I'm half Italian. Don't give Italians too much credit. They're just niggers with straight hair. And Lucky Luciano, I'm sure you know the name, right? Lucky Luciano?
Yes, of course.
He was a fucking rat. So he's a fucking rat. And for those who know your Cosa Nostra history, they have had the privilege to assimilate to the white ideal. The Irish, they could assimilate, and other cultures, ethnicities that come here, whereas blacks have not had that luxury. So I just want to say that, man, because, at my age, I can't just sit and let people tear down black people without the reality and the understanding that, the legs were kicked from up under them on multiple occasions, not just over the decades, but the centuries. Go ahead and land your plane, Rob Lowe. I appreciate you, man. Land your plane, please.
Yes, 100%. I agree with you, but I'll give you a little bit of pushback.
Okay.
I was not glorifying any of the other races that I was mentioning. What I was stating, and yes, I know we have, when they say to tighten up your bootstraps, we didn't even have boots. I fully understand that. And I'm not trying to advocate for anyone. What I'm saying is that we do not have necessarily our own. And the few that we do have, it's not unified and it's not moving in the same motion. It's moving for self. When you start a business, there's supposed to be etiquette that you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have a certain understanding of what the customer wants and needs. Now, yes, some of these places, it's belligerent people coming in there because you're in a unsavory neighborhood.
So you have to deal with it how it comes. You know, good help is hard to find, so you got to take what you can get. I get all of that, but there's a standard that needs to be maintained. We can mention all of these places: IHOP, the Waffle House, many black businesses, black clothing stores. You know, everybody's looking for a handout. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants that. The underlying factor should be:
I'm looking for what you owe me. I don't want a
better.
handout. You owe me reparations. It's not a handout.
Yeah, well,
Right?
that Star the plane has landed, and that's another entire show story. Whatever you want to say.
I appreciate
I'll speak to
you,
you
man.
later.
Yes, sir.
Salute.
Salute. Okay. Yeah.
No doubt.
All right.
Salute.
Had to pull out my black side, you know. I don't want a handout, goddamn. I want what you owe me. Yo. Area code 951. I'm going to take a break in a second, but you're my caller right now. Are you there, 951? Good evening.
Hi, Star. This is Evelyn. I'm calling you from my home phone.
Hey.
That's why it's a different number.
Nice to hear from you.
Hey,
Evelyn.
how
What do
you
want to say?
doing
Come
today?
on, let's go.
Okay, you know, the guy that you were talking about the restaurant,
Wallo.
he should visit. Can you hear me?
Yes, Wallo 267.
Yes, he should visit Dookie Chase restaurant in New Orleans. I don't know if you are familiar with it.
No, I'm not.
I've been going there since I was 7 years old. If you go there right now today, it's the same experience. Their food is good. They have people that are they know how to talk to you.
Okay.
It's just a great experience. The food always is good. The service is always good. And like I said, I've been going there since I was 7 years old.
Okay.
And me and you are the exact same age. I think you might be like a couple of months. My birthday falls in December, so.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm telling you, these is black people. It's a family-owned restaurant, and it seems like they've gotten better. When I very first went there, it was, you know, a little place or whatever. But now it's really a very nice restaurant. You know, they had to rebuild after Katrina. Katrina tore it up and everything. But
well, Evelyn, I don't mean to cut you short. I really want to focus on what he said because I've never been to that eatery. Maybe he has. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on what Wallo said within that, setting to those people? And it has gone somewhat viral, or there seems to be a concern. Please.
Well, that's the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. Every black place is not like that.
Right.
Some people still do have class. They care about what they're putting out. Okay. They're not dirty and filthy in the back. They're not dirty. They care about their name being out there. They care.
I don't doubt that, Evelyn. I don't doubt that. But Wallo has said what he said. You watch $1 million worth of game?
No, okay. I do not.
Okay.
But I heard what you, said he said, about black people and, how they have bad customer service. But I think that the young people now just across the board, they don't have to be black. Okay. They don't have good customer service. Okay. You can't even go in a store anymore. You can go in a store and I'm just using this for example. I might go in JCPenney. I'm looking for a bra. Oh, well, the bras are over there. No, I want you to come and help me.
Hang on a second. Evelyn, is JCPenney still around? JCPenney?
Yeah, it is. And I only go in there for that, for lingerie or bras, underwear, stuff like that. I don't really go in there for
I thought they went out of business. JCPenney?
Yeah, it's still open out here in California. They're still open, still running. But like I said, I only go in there for those things. But it's anything. anything you ask a young person for in a store, they can't tell you anything about anything. All they know is they work there. They can't tell you where nothing is. They don't have no customers.
Evelyn, I'm sorry. Somebody sent their donation, said you also shop at Woolworths. Whoa.
Okay. Well, whatever. Like I said, JCPenney's is still open in California. Now, they might be getting ready to shut down. I don't know. But what I'm saying that to say this. People don't have customer service. It's not just a black thing. None of these young people have customer service. And I don't even think they teach customer service like when you're in training to get a job. I don't even think they teach customer service. I think they're just there.
Is Corvettes still open, Evelyn? Remember Corvettes?
I don't think we ever had that out here. That store, I don't think we ever had that out here.
All right.
At all.
Listen, Evelyn, I got to.
I know you think
Evelyn,
about me.
I appreciate you, but they're asking.
I know you think about me though, Star. Oh, Evelyn, she's an old shoe and that, and the other. You told me that.
Well, listen, Evelyn,
But I'm an old shoe, but guess what? I'm an old Gucci shoe.
Okay.
It costed $1,000 in '64, and guess what? It might cost $1,000 or $1,500 now.
I appreciate you.
Trust me, these young people, and I even say it about my own kids, they don't have any customer service.
You're right.
They don't give good customer service. Eateries, stores, even you coming to buy a nice car, and they might have someone young on the lot. They don't know how to talk.
Evelyn, I have to take other calls. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Okay. 562, thank you for your patience. Are you still there? Area code 562.
Still here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you? Where do you want to start?
All right. So I don't really have a problem with what Wallo said.
Okay.
I mean, first off, I would like to say, growing up, I'm 45, by the way, or I'll be 45 next month. But growing up, it was a such thing that men used to actually have to take heed to, which where the OGs would say, don't worry about how I'm saying what I'm saying. Listen to the message.
Right.
And, nowadays, everybody's so, they so feminine. I'm sorry to, for lack of better words, I'm sorry to say it that way, but
it's okay.
Men are so feminine and they act like women in regards to not taking accountability.
Okay.
Now, I got a lot of, I grew up in the streets. Right now, I live in Compton. I have a couple properties. I've acquired everything that I got since 2015. And a lot of my homeboys, they say, oh, man, but you got money, though, but you could, you doing it like this and like that. And I had to tell people, no, I just don't mess off my money. I do the right things with my paper. And I got a lot of homeboys that grew up with me that have did time. They went down, did bids. Specifically, one of my partners did 12 years, came out in 2015. He a homeowner now.
Okay.
He got a great job. And he doing better than most of my homeboys that been out and ain't never went down and did any type of time.
Okay.
And it's and it's crazy that instead of being accountable or how about instead of even just taking the time to do the research to follow the money or to figure out where the money at, you get a lot of men that's out here making excuses for why they don't have or why they can't get certain things accomplished.
Okay.
And I'm going to just say this.
I'm a little jealous because now I ain't did too much time outside of, you know, a weekend.
You're jealous of Wallo? You're jealous of Wallo?
No. I'm about to make my point right now.
Okay.
I'm a bit jealous because I ain't did too much time outside of over the weekend.
Okay.
But I done had ups and downs throughout my lifespan to where I done been up, I done fell off. I've been up, I done fell off. But and I done went to like different programs to try to get help and assistance with trying to get back on my feet. And there wasn't nothing out there for me outside of like unemployment, disability, and certain things like that. But for these guys that do time and that get out, there are programs out here with the county that will put you through school, pay for everything. You could actually end up doing way better than somebody that actually is a hard-working citizen that ain't never committed no crimes or anything, and they will put you on track to become a model citizen. And so that's what, when I say I'm a little jealous, that's where I was going at with that, is because, you know, and I'm only speaking to, you know, the guys that, you know, let's say you done had some hardship, you done went down, did some time. There is resources out here for everybody's situation and everybody's scenario.
You're born and raised in Compton, California?
I was born in Compton. Yes, I was raised between Compton and Wilmington, California.
Okay.
And what
I took my California road trip a couple of years ago, and I stopped in Compton. And I made it my business to go to the grocery outlet bargain market. You know about that particular place?
Yes, that's less than a mile and a half away from me. I'm right here across the.
Have you been there, sir? Can you tell people what it is? I went there. I went inside. I spent some money. Can you tell people what that is? It opened in 2021?
Yes, and there's a young black lady that happens to own that store, and she's one of the I don't know if she's one of the first, but she is the only black young black female supermarket owner over here in the area, and that happens to sit.
That's Compton's only, sir.
Rosecrans and Central.
Hang on, Compton's only black-owned grocery store. She was 46 years of age. No disrespect to her, back in 2021. So she's got to be, you know, she's over it. She's older now. Pardon me. But yeah, I made it my business to go there. Do you yourself patronize that establishment? Do you go there, you know, once every couple of weeks?
Yes, I do, and it's a nice establishment. Their customer service is actually great. I don't have no issues with going and patronizing her business.
There was a Mexican at the register when I was checking out, so you know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you know, it's the only, to my knowledge, black-owned grocery store in Compton. Go ahead, land your plane.
Correct.
Go ahead, land your plane.
Correct. Yeah, and but I just had to speak to, you know, a lot of people that's getting on here, getting down on Wallo. I understand their energy. I understand where it's coming from. However, on the flip side, you're going to hear that only for people that don't have any type of entrepreneurial ambitions and motivation. Because if you've only known, or if your motivation is only to work for the man and not try to figure out how to get yourself out of your situation, then yeah, you're gonna have a problem with what he's saying, because you feel you in the trap. You stuck.
So I hate to cut you. I have other calls I have to take. I gave you time to land your plane. I appreciate you.
Thank you for your time, Star.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. I'm letting people speak. Hold on a second. Hey, Cherie, I got your donation. Okay, thank you so much. I have to close down my email account and reopen. What's going on with goddamn? It's not me. I got a bunch of windows open, but what the hell's going on? Kid, I got your donation as well. Not everyone who shits on you is your enemy. Everyone who gets out of your shit is your friend. Let me put that on the screen. Let me put it on the screen. Okay, everybody hold on. There's another video I need to play. Anthony's mother speaks. Really? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, 5 hours ago, Carmelo Anthony's mother speaks. Let's get to this. Let's get to this. Everybody hold on. Everybody hold on. This is Carmelo Anthony's mother. Deeds just sent me this. Let me get this on the screen. Hear what she's got to say. Let me take everything off the screen, guys. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. See what she has to say here with regards to her son, Carmelo Anthony. Guys, let me know that you can hear the audio, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Okay, that was Carmelo Anthony's mother. I just got that email. Thank you, Deeds. Okay. I like her approach. Anybody want to chime in? They've been quiet. Some things had to be detailed and straightened out, if you will. Okay. All right, let me bring in a few more calls. Thank you for your donations. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up shortly here. We've been here pretty much all day. Is that who I think it is? Area code 304. Good evening. Are you there?
Star, what's up, man? It's your boy Avo.
Advo, I need you to stay on topic. Do not jump all around, all right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we start with Wallo?
Yeah, I think you should. You and about 5 other people sent me the video, the links with regards to Wallo's statements at this particular event where he was one of the featured motivational speakers. Please, Advo.
Yes. In my case, I don't trust prison activists. They always rub me the wrong way.
Okay.
Under the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, a felon is a second-class citizen. Wallo don't have the authority to criticize black business when he's promoting New Amsterdam vodka, which is poison to his own community. I think he's the wrong messenger. Even if what he's trying to say is constructive criticism, you're not the right person. You know, just like sometimes me as a tether, I'm not the right person to talk about certain things. I think in this position, it just show how when people get money, they show you who they are. And Wallo forgot that for 20 years he was eating oodles and noodles back in wherever, you know, I don't know, in prison. So I think it was just very elitist from him.
You sound like a true hating ass tether. Respectfully, continue.
In no form for way am I hating, but here's the thing: in the entertainment business, you see who they push. They push the felons, they push the pimps, they push the drug dealers, and those 3 are the big demons that have been destroying the black and the Latino community, in my opinion. So I don't look up to felons, you know. And also,
well, hang on a second. Now I hear you speaking, but now you know there's many people, Caucasian as well, who have been convicted of crimes, you know, and they've been charged. They've served prison time. So are you keeping that same energy with Caucasians, saying that they cannot be, you know, motivational speakers? They cannot speak on behalf of law-abiding citizens and taxpayers? Are you keeping that same energy?
Well, me, Avo, yes, because I remember back in Staten Island, there was a U.S. Supreme Court judge that wanted to implement, I think it was like, he wanted to implement like drug tests to EBT appliers in New York State. And then the next week, that guy got caught in a sting ring buying drugs. And I personally...
Well, I'm more so talking about, do you patronize white?
No, but I stood against a congressman that was going against my community. I stood against the white man since 2009. So I don't
hold on. If I can just ask you this: do you avoid white establishments, whether they be, I don't know, buildings, eateries? Do you avoid sporting events, arenas that have?
Yes.
Hang on. I'm speaking. I'll let you land your plane.
A month ago, I sent you a...
Okay, he's not listening. You have to let someone else speak. Ivo, I don't want to talk on top of each other. Please, I will let you land your plane. There's so many Caucasians, if you will, and a lot of the founding fathers of this great nation. They owned slaves and other things. They were people who wrote treaties and knowingly broke the treaties, colonizers. So are you keeping that same energy? If you're saying that Wallo served his debt to society, you're saying he should not be speaking up. Please.
Yes. Last month, I stood up against that mammy that got attacked at a Taco Bell. I protested for 2 days outside of there, and I made sure that I show my disgust towards that corporation. my going back to what I said, my thing is a felon should not be talking down on people regarding on because what he's doing is he's pushing the broken window theory that if a business has one little small problem, then I'm gonna look down. And the same Wallo, when 50 Cent had that event in Shreveport, he also did some weird stuff with a Uber driver that he just walked out of the Uber driver because he was being set up. So I think what's happening with him, he doesn't want to be surrounded by poor people, and he just needs to call it what it is. I don't want to be with the brokies. I want to be with what's the name of that company he works for?
I'm not sure.
They've porno
Barstool Sports. Barstool.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is. If you compare Joe Budden, who got it out the mud. Joe Budden been doing YouTube from the beginning, and meanwhile, $1 million worth of game. All they do is have. I believe they work for the feds, and that's what is given that. Wallo and
hold on a second, Ivo, you're going someplace else now. With all due respect, man, keep me posted. You are a great a research person. You pocket watch. I can appreciate everything that you do, man. So you're not buying Wallo's motivational speaking thing. You think what he's a grifter?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I couldn't call it before. Because we have this like, for example, in the black community, if you've been in jail like him, he's a real N-word. He's a top dog. I don't look up to people like that, to tell you the truth.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for all of the information you sent me. Have a great evening. Thank you, Ivo.
Yeah, it's your boy Tether number 4.
Okay. All right. Ivo, Tether number 4. Okay.
Nobody knows I'm on the brink of something. My heart's gonna go. All the colors exploding. Nobody knows I'm on the brink of something. My heart's gonna go. All the colors Nobody knows.